Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Motor City. Tonight, the Penguins take on the Red Wings for the final time this year. The Penguins on 2 victories against Detroit, and by convincing scores, 4-1 and 5-0 shutouts. The shutout posted by Tom Barrasso. But they come into this game tonight against the Red Wings trying to do something they've never been able to do in the history of the franchise, and that is win a Patrick Division title. And they've got that opportunity. Their magic number, Paul Steigerwald, is down to 2. Any combination of the Penguins gaining 2 points or the New York Rangers losing 2 gives the Penguins first place in the division, and importantly for them, it would give them home ice throughout the playoff round in the Patrick, and that would be a big advantage, I think, to the Pittsburgh team. Yep, Gordy Roberts talked about that. He's a guy with some experience. You know, one guy who certainly would enjoy being in the lineup tonight would be Mario Lemieux. What a performance he put on last night. He's not going to be able to play tonight because he took a puck in the eye, but before that, he scored 3 beautiful goals for the Penguins, his first hat trick since coming back. The first one on a breakaway, went in and beat Pete Peters with a shot up to the upper right-hand corner. Came back on the second opportunity and kind of faked that way, and then went to the backhand and scored a goal very similar to the very first goal he scored in his career in the National Hockey League back in 1984. And the third one was just turning around and finding the net somehow, and he put it off the stick of Pete Peters and into the net. All 3 goals scored for the Penguins in a 3-1 win over the Philadelphia Flyers. After Lemieux left the game, the Penguins defense turned it on and did a tremendous job, particularly in terms of penalty killing off a major penalty in the final 5 minutes of the game. And certainly, Mike, I think that was an indication of the way the Penguins have improved themselves since the trade. The fact that they were able to kill that penalty in such a crucial situation. I know Bob Johnson wasn't particularly happy with being in that situation, but the Pens came away with a big win and an opportunity, therefore, to clinch the title here tonight. Well, the Pens will get that opportunity, and Frank Pietrangelo will be the starting goaltender for the Penguins. He hasn't started since late February. Tim Shovelday goes for the Red Wings. Sit back, relax, and enjoy it with us. All coming up right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
To us, the theory of relativity means always being relatively close to a party. In these parts, our wildest creatures come out only at night.
Preserve the wildlife.
Welcome to the battle between the almighty dollar and the little common sense. There's the bell. What a fight. A left, right, left. Oh, the dollar is in trouble. It's down, the dollar.
You bet it's down. Because from now on, McDonald's original juicy hamburger is just 59 cents. Delicious cheeseburger, 69 cents. And tasty sausage biscuit, 79 cents. So come to McDonald's, where the little common sense win big. Our new real value menu. You'll love the change at McDonald's.
Guess what? BP is now offering the Beatrix Potter collection of Peter Rabbit children's books.
Why?
Because everybody loves them.
Why?
Because they're such charming little stories. 6 books, only 69 cents each with a fill-up of any BP gasoline, plus a free collector box.
Why?
Because, well, that's to hold them, that's why.
Oh.
Oh.
The Beatrix Potter collection from BP.
Why?
Not again.
They look good.
They work good.
Have you got your pearls on?
Yeah, they got this thing.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed they'd be perfect. Have you got your pearls on?
Whoa. And they fixed them for you, huh?
Yeah.
She said no charge.
I bought these with a coupon, and they gave me a second pair.
Those are real nice pearls.
Why just wear glasses when you can put on pearls?
One thing I like about them, they don't slide off my kisser.
Pearl and Pearl Vision Express for glasses in 1 hour. Call 1-800-YES-EYES for locations.
Play the Pennsylvania Lottery's new $1 Million Spin. It's your chance to win. Saturdays at 7 right here on KDKA TV2.
As we said, the Penguins have beaten the Red Wings twice this year. And before we go to the scatter report, we will have our national anthem here from the Joe Louis Arena.
Oh, say, can't you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Okay, the scouting report for the Penguins and Red Wings. The Wings are tied for third in the NHL with 25 home wins. They've been pretty good here at home, although kind of having a problem lately. The Red Wings special teams are a problem. Their home penalty killing is last in the NHL, which should bode well for the Penguins power play. Steve Yzerman goes for his 4th straight 50-goal season. The Red Wings are winless against the Penguins in their last 8, 0-6-2. The Penguins can clinch the Patriot Division title tonight, as we told you. The Penguins need a win tonight to set the all-time team season high at 41. And Mario out of the lineup.
Scratches for the Penguins include Wendell Young, Joey Mullen, Jill DeLorme, Mario Lemieux, Paul Stanton, Randy Hillier, Barry Peterson, Jamie Leach, and Ken Priestley. And for the Red Wings, Bobby Dolis, Mark Habscheid, Steve Chason, Alan Bester, Dave Barr, Gerard Gallant, Randy McKay, and Dennis Vial. A whole host of players scratched for this game tonight. And the puck played into Pittsburgh territory to begin the game. Larry Murphy of the Pens unable to clear it out. And Yzerman down the left wing, number 19 for the Red Wings. Lock into the net, and Peter Angelo will stop that. Murphy guides it around the far side, and Kevin Stevens, the Penguin left winger. Whip it rink wide to Scotty Young, and Young pulls it into the Red Wings end, and it'll be an offside call against the Penguins. Young actually was offsided himself coming into the zone, and so 25 seconds in, we get a stop and play.
Our Foodland hot shot contestant in the first period is Ann Zagar of Ambridge, Pennsylvania. Mark Recchi is her hot shot. $900 worth of groceries in the jackpot tonight.
Frank Pietrangelo, the Penguin goaltender, has not won a game since December 20th of 1990 when he beat Minnesota.
He has never played against the Detroit Red Wings.
Penguins will put Herdina out here now with Bob Airy and Mark Recchi. Sergei Fedorov working with Sean Burr and Brett Fennick for the Detroit Red Wings, and Brad McCrimmon and Rick Green paired defensively, the two veterans. Fedorov, the rookie sensation of the National Hockey League, leading everybody in point scoring and goal scoring. Recchi, though, with the puck coming to the Red Wings line, and it's cut off by Brett Fennick. Fennick, the Red Wing right winger, and Recchi takes it from him and whacks it in behind the Detroit goal. Rick Green settles it to the left of his own net. An outlet pass coming to center now to Fedorov. Fedorov winds his way into the Penguins in, and a wrist shot right to the net. That's stopped by goaltender Frank Pietrangelo, and he hauls it in. And another face-off, this time in Pittsburgh territory. Mark Recchi leads the Penguins in goal scoring on the year. And, of course, Herdina's seen some ice time with Lemieux out on that line, but now they'll come off, and the Penguins go to another change, and they're going to put a third unit out quickly. Brian Trottier will work with Troy Loney and Jaromir Jagr. Let's see what the Wings counter with here. They'll put Jimmy Carson out here at center with Bob Probert on the left wing and Dennis Suchuk, a rookie, on the right side. Gary Suchuk, I beg your pardon, out of the University of Wisconsin.
Suchuk is a small guy who likes to go to the net, and Probert, of course, goes to the net also. A different set of line mates for Jimmy Carson than he was accustomed to playing in Los Angeles and Edmonton.
Penguins win this face-off. Ulf Samuelsson could not get it out, though. Brad Marsh shoots it towards the net. That's off a leg and back to center. And Doug Crossman, the Red Wings defenseman. Flip it into the Penguins end. Down the left wing, Jimmy Carson with only 21 goals on this year. Lost control of it. Trottier shoots it ahead off the boards, back to center. Shot back into the Penguins end. And Pietrangelo leaves it behind the net for Grant Jennings. Jennings will fire it away to center ice, and Brad Marsh golfs it over the head of Ulf Samuelsson back in behind the Penguin cage. Samuelson's hit heavily on a check by Bob Probert. Around the boards it comes. The Red Wings try to set it up, but they can't as Jaromir Jagr guns back for the Penguins. Jagr's pass to Brian Trottier. Jagr picks it up again. Jagr into the Detroit zone on the left side. Pulled down to the play. The referee tonight is Rob Schick. The linesman Gord Brossiger and Jerry Pateman off the far corner. Brad Marsh winds it around the boards. Right point to Murphy of the Penguins shoots it. That'll miss the net. Now taken by Crossman, the Red Wings defenseman, and he'll lay it ahead to Suchuk. Suchuk with a couple of goals already since coming up and joining the Red Wings. Whacked away to the Penguin zone, and Pietrangelo snap it around the boards. The Penguin goaltender off the right side. Zombo lines up Trottier. Picked up now. The Red Wings. Yzerman shot it. It was off a leg, and going for it is Phil Bourque. He and Racine after it. And Yves Racine will get there first for the Red Wings. Steering the puck to Paul Eisebart. Eisebart, the former Devil, coming to the Red Wings in a trade this year. He can't make it happen on the Penguins in. They're forced back to center. Now they lose the puck, and Larry Murphy starts back to the Red Wings line. The Penguins deputy behind Red Wing goaltender Tim Chevelday, and Rick Zombo now plays the puck in the scoreless game. 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the first period. On the attack, the Red Wings, and they get it to Yzerman now, coming to the Penguins in down the right wing, and he shoots it off the glass. Bouncing puck around to the left wing corner. Taglianetti defensively whipped it around the boards, but Zombo has a shot deflected by Kevin Miller and just off the net. Racine comes in deep on the play, put it behind the Penguin goal. The Red Wings, who have not won in 8 games against the Penguins. The Penguins are 6-0-2 in the last 8 meetings after a long stretch that they had here where they did not win at all. Right wing pass Caulfield to Randy Gillen to the Detroit zone. His shot, that was stopped. Somebody lost a stick. It was defenseman Racine. Zombo over to help the play out, though, the Red Wing blue liner, and he cuts to the right of his own goal. Leads it ahead to Kevin Miller. On the play now to Yzerman. Back into the Penguins in against Coffey. Yzerman just softly sends it behind the Penguin net, and Taglianetti easily comes up with it. Relaying the puck to Coffey, and here comes the doctor. He's had some big games in this building. Now to the Detroit zone. Comes down. Poke checks away. Comes to Young, and he drills it wide of the net. Scotty Young trying to pick the short side of that shot. Back to center ice, and the Pens now set it up again. And Scott Young rambling back to center. Mark Potvin, another rookie out here for the Red Wings. They have used 45 players this year. The Red Wings have the most ever, I think, in the history of the club. Potvin feeding the puck to Keith Primo. Primo has only 3 goals in his rookie season to Garpenlov, another rookie who started off very quickly for the Red Wings, but he has fallen on hard times. And the puck now out of play and into the seats. 15:57 to go in the first period. The Penguins and Red Wings are scoreless here in Detroit on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Power buying saves, save at Farmore.
Save on name brands all through the store.
Farmores, here, save Farmore.
Everyday low prices save you far more.
Save at Farmore.
Diving big, saving too. Past savings are to you.
Power buying saves, save at Farmore.
Shop the Farmore, not far from you.
Bob Johnson certainly aware, Mike, of the quality of the center iceman of these Detroit Red Wings. You talk about the players they have. They don't really have that tough defensive center iceman, although Fedorov is really considered their best two-way center. Johnson's commenting about the strength of their centers with Carson and Yzerman and Fedorov. They're tough.
By the way, now a member of the Penguin organization. All right, forget about it. It's all right. We won't say anything about it. I'll just say a former member of the Penguins organization, Eddie Johnson. Were you going to use that?
No, we weren't. We're going to use it later.
Well, he just signed a new 3-year contract.
Did he really?
Yeah,
that's good.
The Hartford Whalers. The Whalers tonight are playing at New Jersey. All right, you can use the other thing. That means stay tuned for the news on the TV side. Staggy's got a little scoop for you. And off the boards and down to Detroit territory.
Which was already revealed on our news by Bob Pompiani, so it really is not that big a deal.
Well, it's always better when it comes from you, Staggy, because you're the hockey man. It'll be important. I'm sure they'll be there. A lot of people didn't watch the news. Here's Fedorov to the right wing into the Penguins end. Sergei Fedorov drops it off, and it's cut off by Grant Jennings, and ahead it goes to center now. Fedorov gets involved here with Ulf Samuelsson back in the Penguin zone, and they drop the glove. Samuelsson's got the helmet off of Fedorov, and they're whacking away at one another. And here goes Samuelsson with Fedorov in trouble. Has him down. Sergei Fedorov and Ulf Samuelsson bouncing each other around. And we're going to have some penalty time miscued here.
Well, that's one thing they've said about Fedorov since the time he got here this year was that I think European players for years have been criticized for not being physical enough, and yet there are so many of them who play a physical brand of hockey, including number 5 of the Penguins. But Fedorov is being pointed out as a guy who's will mix it up and has some toughness to go along with those great skills. We'll be back in a moment. No score. 15:26 to go in the first period here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Hi, I'm here in this raging snowstorm to bring you some exciting news. It's the Big Chill Frozen Food Super Sale. Save up to 50% off on a great selection of frozen food. It's the big event, right now at Foodland.
I hate this weather.
At the Double Coupon Store, there's cooked semi-boneless ham, 98 cents a pound. Maxwell House Coffee, $4.59. Hillshire Farms Kielbasa, $1.89 a pound. I can't believe it's not butter, 99 cents, and all detergent, $9.99. This week at Foodland.
Penguins will draw an extra minor in this situation. Samuelsson will be penalized. And my guess is it might be double minor to him. Elbowing minor and a 5-minute major for fighting to Samuelson. And Fedorov gets a 5-minute major for fighting. So the Red Wings go to work in the power play. 20th overall in the National Hockey League with a man advantage. And they'll employ Yzerman out here with Yzerman and Bob Probert. Racine and Crossman will be their point men. The Penguin penalty killers will be Yuri Hrdina and Phil Bourque. Penguins penalty killing on the season. They are 16th. They've allowed 70 power play goals. The Red Wings have scored 54 power play goals on the year. Penguins have 85 on their campaign. In front, Yzerman shoots it right on. The save made by Pietrangelo. Shot again by Yzerman to the right rebound, and he missed the net. Around to the right wing boards. Good save there by Pietrangelo to get him in the game very early. Center point. Crossman now over to the right side to Yzerman. Swing it down deep. Bob Probert around that net. Take it in behind the goal. Bob Probert, who still cannot play in Canada after being convicted on the drug possession charges that he had. He can't get back into the country. Around to the left side. Here's Racine. He failed an attempted shot from the left wing circle, and it goes all the way back into Detroit territory. Doug Crossman. To the left wing to Yzerman. Spin center point to Racine. A shot that missed the net, but an interference call against the Red Wings going to even it up. Bob Airey was knocked to the ice, and Bob Probert, I believe, will be the guilty party. He knocked down Bob Airey. Well, Bobby's had kind of a tough road trip. Ronnie Sutter worked him over pretty good last night. He has a big welt on his face from the game last night. A tough competitor, and now Probert upends him, the big muscle guy of the Red Wings.
You know, Mike, I wanted to point out a stat that Mike Emmerich pointed out to me last night, which I think is interesting about Ulf Samuelsson.
I tell them about who Emmerich is.
Mike Emmerich, the broadcaster for the Flyers, but Ulf Samuelsson leads the National Hockey League as far as power play goals being scored against his team when he's in the penalty box. 14 times that's happened to him. 11 times with the Hartford Whalers before he came over to the Pens, and 3 times with Pittsburgh. It's not that meaningful a stat, and I even mentioned it to Bob Johnson today, and he just laughed. He thinks we get too caught up in statistics, but I think what it tells you more than anything else is that Ulf Samuelsson is a valuable member of his team's penalty killing unit. When he's in the box, the penalty killing is not as strong. Fortunately, the Penguins, though, don't have to kill the rest of the penalty as Probert sits down, and it's even up.
And in fact, the Penguins will get a power play chance, their first of the night. 52 seconds worth when that penalty to Ulf Samuelsson expires. And Yzerman at equal strength now against Recchi and Hrdina. Yzerman on the right wing. Cuts into the Penguins in. Zombo on the right wing board. Pulls up, right point, turns, and now shoots it. It was deflected. Pietrangelo moves it away from the net off the boards to the right point to Zombo again, the Detroit blue liner. Over to Yzerman to Detroit in the slot to Yzerman. A good shot and a good save by Pietrangelo on Steve Yzerman. Well, Pietrangelo stopping Yzerman with 49 goals on the year twice here in the first period. Coffey sets up behind his own net, swinging to the left of his goaltender. Relays it ahead to Peter Taglianetti, and he'll find Hrdina. Hrdina, Pittsburgh, 4-on-4 to the Detroit zone. Take it to the left side, but Kevin Miller strips him of the puck. Miller works it over to Yves Racine, and Racine slowly comes from his own end. Long lead pass. John Burr to the left side of Miller, broke behind the defense. He shoots and scores. Kevin Miller got around Taglianetti down the left wing, and he beats Pietrangelo, and the Red Wings take a 1-0 lead. I have a feeling the Penguins thought that play was offside, Paul. I don't know why. Taglianetti kind of let up on the play as if to wait for a whistle, and it never happened.
Hussein threw that puck from right at the blue line, and it was up to Sean Burr, and Burr went across to Miller, who cut in behind Taglianetti and walked right in on Pietrangelo. Kevin Miller acquired in that trade for Joey Kocur. Kocur helped the Penguins' cause in New York a week ago by taking some stupid penalties. And you only hope that Miller doesn't hurt the Penguins' cause too much here tonight. He's already started in that respect, and with a shot between the legs of Frank Pietrangelo to make it 1-0.
Well, Kevin Miller will get the goal for Burr and Racine. So the Red Wings strike first. And I'm not sure if Miller just had the speed to blow by Taglianetti that play, but he just reached out, and it just gave me the appearance that he thought it might have been an offside play. Anyway, the Red Wings lead, and down the left wing, here comes Sean Burr. Back into the Penguins in, taken away by the Pens. Ron Francis out to center to Mark Recchi. Recchi into the Detroit zone. Penguins on a power play right now. Coffey to the right side of Ronnie Francis. Center point. Here's Murphy firing right on. Shivelday makes the save. The Detroit goaltender on a shot by Larry Murphy. Kevin Miller scoring his 3rd goal in a Red Wing uniform and his 20th of the year. Pretty little play by Miller, and he does have good speed.
Larry Murphy, such a valuable member of the Penguins power play unit. When he was not in the lineup, when he was hurt, and then again missing that game against Chicago, being scratched, Penguins power play 3 for 25.
Well, he's particularly now valuable with the departure of Zaldy Zalapski. He really is.
The numbers really show how valuable he is. And then he comes back last night after missing the Chicago game, and the Penguins power play goes 2 for 3.
All right, the face-off pulled out of the Red Wing zone and back out to Pittsburgh territory. Coffey has to return with 37 seconds to go on the penalty to Bob Probert. And on the attack, Kevin Stevens. He leads the Penguins in power play goals to Recchi. Stepping in behind the Red Wings net around to the left wing corner. Goes to Stevens. Now the left point to Coffey. Shoot it back. He scores. Paul Coffey will get the goal, I believe. And the Penguins have tied it at 1. Oh, no, Eddie Spaghetti. Coffey shot it. He has had great success in this building. I don't know if Francis touched it on the way in or if anybody got a stick on it, but it hopped by Cheveldae, and the Penguins have tied it on a power play goal.
I think it might have hit the stick of Brent Fedek the way he reacted. Coffey threw it to the net, and it hit the hand of Rick Green and jumped into the net, the defenseman. Rick Green put his glove out, just a reaction, but it went off his fingertips and just dropped straight down past Cheveldae on the short side to tie the game.
So the Penguins get their 86th power play goal of the year, and Paul Coffey cashes in his 23rd. Stevens will get an assist on it, and Recchi, I believe. Yeah, that's the call. Stevens and Recchi around to Coffey at the left point, and he just floated it in as it got by Cheveldae, and the Penguins tied. Here comes Jaromir Jagr now, going to the Detroit zone, right down the slot, down the right wing, moves in. He flips and scores against Cheveldae. He flipped it on the backhand, and the Penguins lead 2-1. Oh, great balls of fire. Jaromir Jagr with 2 men draped on him, got the shot off, a backhander right through the legs. It appeared to Cheveldae off his stick, and Jaromir gets himself another one, the rookie. He has great ability to get rid of that puck, and he did. He just squirted it right through Cheveldae.
Looked like he tried to backhand it in front to a pass to Trottier, and no, he was trying to shoot it on the net, and he went right underneath the stick of Cheveldae. Not a good goal, but a great effort nevertheless by Jaromir Jagr.
So Jagr scores just 12 seconds after Coffey got the goal, and the Penguins, just like that, have a 2-1 lead here in Detroit. And when it's going your way, it's going your way. We've seen other games. Here's Probert, though, back for the Red Wings. Penguins, and he shoots it right on him. Peter Angelo has to smother that in his midsection and hold on. And the Red Wings almost got the goal right back. All right, the Pens have the lead 2-1 here in Detroit. Goals by Coffey and Jagr. We'll be back in a moment on the Penguins Hockey Network.
If you're never quite sure just when or where your food's going to show up, come to King's. At King's, you can count on lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it.
Because I'm a teeny bit late, your drinks are free.
Next time, make it King's.
Well, anybody that's watched this Penguin team on the year knows they're explosive and they can score goals in a hurry, and they do it again. They score a pair a dozen seconds apart, Coffey and Jagr. They now have the lead here in Detroit 2-1. Magic number for the Penguins to clinch the Patrick division is 2. A win tonight will do that. And on the right point, Zombo now in the Penguins end. Rick Zombo fake a shot, moves down the right side, comes in with a wrist shot that'll hit the stick of Barrasso off the way. It goes over to behind the net, and Coffey will corral it. Paul Coffey leads it ahead back to center, over to Randy Gillen. Gillen dumps it away to the Detroit goal, and Cheveldae will stop that. Drawing a reaction from the crowd here in Detroit. Garpenloff on the left side, can't get it out. Taglianetti put it right on the blade of Rick Zombo, and here come the Red Wings. Who do you think the leading scorer in the series to date is so far, Paul, in this battle between? Here's Garpenloff left side, fires it in the Penguins in wide of the net. You know who it is?
I do not. I didn't look.
Randy Gillen. 2 goals and 3 assists and 5 points against the Red Wings. Leads everybody. Yzerman on the left side. He gets a chance to play tonight with Lemieux out of the lineup. He is out here now centering the line with Kevin Stevens and Jay Caulfield. Red Wings, though, storm back into the Penguins end. Yzerman went to Garpenloff, and his rink-wide pass cut off by Randy Gillen. On the move to Stevens, but he forgot the puck. And Mark Potvin now directs it up in behind the Penguin net. Penguins lead 2-1 here in Detroit. And it'll be Taglianetti on defense paired with Grant Jennings. Taglianetti had the puck stripped away by Yzerman. They put it back in front of the net, and Yzerman can't get there. Yzerman after it. Work it to the near quarter. Stevens or Taglianetti again works it out of the zone. At center ice, the Red Wings come up with it. They set up shop one more time. Kevin Miller out here working back into the Penguins end down the left wing with Yzerman and Steve Yzerman. Miller is taken out of the action neatly by Grant Jennings, and the Penguins go the other way on the counterattack. Ron Francis cutting to the Detroit end. It goes off a skate right to the net. Cheveldae moves it away from the goal. Kevin Miller will take the pass from him into the Penguins end. Now to Yzerman. Walks in. He forgot the puck to himself. Now gets it back. Trying to shoot it. It was blocked. That's one thing about Yzerman. He may not have the puck for a moment. He may lose it, but he has such great ability to get to that loose puck in a hurry and get rid of the shot so quickly. The Wings again dump it back into the Penguins end. 10:23 to go. Here in the first period. Pittsburgh 2, Detroit 1. And lifted in the air back into Detroit territory. The Red Wings, Doug Crossman, tries to feed it out of his own end. Murphy, the right point, holds it in and shoots it to the left wing corner. Back behind the net. Recchi took a hard check from Brad Marsh and had his helmet dislodged. He's hurt. Recchi got hurt on that play, and a hard check by Brad Marsh. He got his head put right into the glass by Brad Marsh, who got him with that big shoulder. And Marsh, such a big guy, and when he hits you clean, boy, you feel it.
And obviously, Brad Marsh is still capable of throwing those checks out. It looks like he's going to go to the penalty box as a result of that one.
They're going to call a high stick here against Brad Marsh. It looked like a pretty good check. We'll be back in a moment. 2-1 Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Are you sure you can't stay, honey?
I really can't.
Your ticket, sir?
I've changed my mind.
Great. The bag.
When you want to change, only one diet soft drink has the great taste of Lyman.
Oh, honey, about staying? I've changed my mind.
Great.
I'm staying.
Clear Light Diet Sprite.
Brad Marsh acquired by the Red Wings from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Big, strong defenseman. Been in the league a long time. One of the few guys, one of the 7 guys in the league that does not wear a helmet. Sits down. The Pen was back on a power play. Power play looked good last night, but Mario Lemieux was out there making things happen on it.
Well, the Pens are 1 for 1 tonight. They scored on their first opportunity. A power play goal by Paul Coffey. And Coffey now blasting the puck into the Detroit zone. Pens lead by 1. 2-1 here in the first period. And checked aside by Sean Burr. And Burr comes rambling back. The Red Wings are good shorthanded. They've scored 17 shorthanded goals on the year. Penguins have given up 12. They now have almost even that up. They've scored 11 on the campaign themselves. Mark Recchi to Larry Murphy. Murphy's flying out here in the first period. Murphy gets the Red Wings into the right point. Sets up. Looking. Drops it down the boards and behind the net. Recchi's right there. The league's leading winger in an assist on the year. And he has 2 more here tonight already against the Wings. Coffey of the Penguins gets the puck to Stevens. And he tries to go back into the Red Wings. Then goes right down the slot. He breaks between the two men. Couldn't get it to Recchi. And Fedorov slams it off the boards and back down to Penguin real estate. Frank Pietrangelo. Detroit out shooting Pittsburgh 7-4. And around the boards it goes. It comes to Ron Francis. Francis of Pittsburgh. Good lead pass just off the stick of Recchi, though. It goes into Detroit ice. They bounce it around the wood. Francis comes over to try and keep it in. He will for a moment, but Fedorov outmuscles him to get it back to center. 8:43 to go in the first period. 38 seconds to go in the penalty to Brad Marsh, the Red Wing defenseman who went off for high sticking at 9:56. And again, the Wings simply shoot it up the other way. Scotty Young out here on this power play for the Penguins now. Finds Jaromir Jagr, who has one of the 2 goals, and he's gliding along into the Red Wings end. He forces that defense back, and he goes right side of Herdina. Over to Scott Young. Shoots it, and off the blocking glove of goaltender Cheveldae. That's what Jagr can do sometimes with the magic that he has and the ability. He made those defensemen back in and respect him. Left side, though, here's Yzerman shooting one in the Penguins end. That one wide, and Jagr comes back on the move again. He takes it away from Zombo as he reached into Herdina right side. Herdina's got a man wide open, but he couldn't get it to board. Now along the near boards. Grabbed by Shewchuk, and he gets it back to center. Marsh is on. The Red Wings have killed the penalty, so the Penguins are 1 for 2 on the power play. Murphy backpedaling to his own end. And the defenseman will find Gordy Roberts, his partner. And what a game he had last night, Roberts, against the Flyers. Jagr on the move again. Out to center ice over to Larry Murphy. The Whalers and Devils at New Jersey tonight. There's no score in the first period in that game. This one 2-1 Pittsburgh. Roberts from Detroit in. Over to Larry Murphy, center point. Fires it. Hit a leg. Jagr comes up with it. Jaromir Jagr turns out of the corner now. Turns and fires it right on. Save made. Rebound. Trottier can't put it in. He looks back to the right point. Goes to Larry Murphy and he shoots it off a leg. And the Red Wings get it out of danger. Penguins going for those loose pucks, and they are really.
They look like they're determined, don't they?
They sure do. They're on a roll right now, and Rick Zombo lost it at center ice to Gordy Roberts. Roberts moving to the Detroit line, and he'll roll it up deep into the right wing corner. Racine defensively. The Red Wings really are just playing for a little pride right now, trying to get back to the 500 mark, but they know what their playoff position is going to be. They're going to play either the Blues or Chicago in the first round of the playoffs. Coffee and the Pens set up now in their own end. Taglianetti sends that one deep. This will be an icing call against the Penguins. Oh, it did not. Crossman didn't touch it. The Penguins got there. Crossman reached in to touch it, but he never got the blade on it. So the Penguins pick it up, and they keep it live. Puck and the Red Wings in. They center it. Racine stopped it in front of the net. Out it goes to Yzerman. Yzerman down the left side. Back into the Penguins in. Breaks on. He cuts across into the slot. Lost the disc, though, and the Penguins again clear it up ice. Jay Caulfield made the play to move it out of his own end. Brad Marsh in a hurry back. 2-1 the Penguins lead here. First period. Pass up the right wing. Coffey again on the far side. Went rink wide, and Brad Marsh defensively. Going left wing over to Yzerman to the Penguins in, and long shot up the right pad of Frank Pietrangelo. Johnson trying to get Pietrangelo some work here before the playoffs start. He gets a call tonight here in Detroit. Left side, Randy Gillen comes in. He shoots it hard right on Chevrolet, and he'll make that save. And the Red Wings go the other way.
It's one thing about Randy Gillen that people might not realize. He has a great shot.
Down the left wing. Yzerman again back on the move into the Penguins end, but he's ridden off the puck by Larry Murphy. And here are the Pens with 5:48 to go in the first period. Gillen again racing back. Stops now at the Detroit blue line, and one thing the Penguins have now, Gillen coming on, and when you've got the depth that the Penguins have right now, you can get a player like Gillen to come on to help replace Lemieux, and he goes full bore all out, and you're not going to play like Lemieux does, but you certainly have a qualified player to play. Right side here now as McCrimmon shooting the puck, and that went off a stick and wide of the net, and the Penguins in. Pittsburgh trying to clear, and they can. Sean Burr to the right side. Over to Brent Fedek, back to Burr, man in front of that goal. They can't get it to him. On the right wing boards, Fedorov had his helmet knocked off for a second time, and now play is whistled down. A hand pass called against the Red Wings. We'll be back in a moment. Pittsburgh 2, Detroit 1 here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Need a plumber? You'll find more ads in the Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. But what good is a book full of plumbers when you just need one? Who works at night? Who takes credit cards? Who can come right now? Odds are you'll find the best choice in the book that gives you the most choice. The genuine Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. The Bell Atlantic Company. Say you needed a room for the night where they take credit cards.
At New Jersey, the Devils have scored first. And they lead the Whalers 1-0 at New Jersey. And the Devils, of course, in a playoff battle with the Philadelphia Flyers and Washington Capitals. Here are the Red Wings now in the Penguin zone, and Yzerman, the Red Wings captain, centered it. Went right to the left point, threw it over to Rick Green. Green up to Kevin Miller. And Miller now coughed it up to Kevin Stevens, and Stevens cuts his way back into the Detroit end down the right wing. He'll stop now in the right wing corner. Pull it back, going to Scott Young. A shot hit a leg. Never got to the cage, and Brad McCrimmon defensively for the Red Wings carries it out to Kelvin Miller. And Miller now back into Penguin real estate. Samuelson just rides him out of the slot area and off the puck, and he gets the puck himself. Samuelson back it over to Ron Francis, the Penguin center iceman. Less than 5 to go in the first period. The Penguins on goals by Paul Coffey and Jaromir Jagr lead 2-1, but Yzerman trying to even it up, comes to the Penguins in, and his shot off Coffey's stick, and it went right over the head of Pietrangelo off the glass. Back in behind the goal. Look out here. The Red Wings come after it. The Penguins let it go, and here is Yzerman. Yzerman to the near corner. Squirts away from a check now by Herdina. Put it in front, and Pietrangelo stopped that, and they held on to it. Coffey just really kind of watched that play. He never went in for the loose puck at all, and the Red Wings almost scored. I don't know if he was tired or what, but he didn't. He just kind of left that puck there and didn't go after it, and the Red Wings almost capitalized. 2-1 Pittsburgh. We'll return in a moment on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Working on a cold line, going down, down. Working on a cold line. How about another round? 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm already home and gone. An Iron Man is always working. We work hard at having fun. Man, it's rough.
Paul Coffey just backed off and allowed the Red Wings to come out from behind the net and make that play. A little backhand shot. And Frank Pietrangelo able to make the save and hang on to it. It was Gary Suchak who took that shot down on his knees.
And this face off in Penguin territory. Sean Burr of the Red Wings, and decked out of the home white uniforms with the red pants. Got him behind the Penguin cage, and he jumped to the near corner, but Herdina of Pittsburgh On the puck, knocked down from behind by Brent Feddick, and the Red Wings working hard right now. They have it left point of the Penguins in, and a backhand shot attempt by Racine, and that stop, and a penalty coming up here. We're going to get an interference call, apparently against the Penguins. We'll have an interference minor here called against the Penguins at the 16:06 mark, and it will be Peter Taglianetti. He will sit down. The score, the Penguins 2 and the Red Wings 1, here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Number 1 Cochran, Monroeville.
There's always something special cooking.
Taglianetti gets an interference call at 16:06, and the Red Wings on their second power play opportunity. The first one didn't have much time on it. They worked for 52 seconds. And here they come now on the move. Fedorov with Yzerman and Yzerman. Working also. Yzerman to the Penguins in on the left side to Yzerman. Left point to Fedorov. Fedorov swings it over right side on the attack to Crossman. Back to Fedorov center point. Left side to Yzerman. His shot. That hit the stick of Samuelson. Hit the glass, and it almost broke the glass. It went so hard at it. Yzerman's really firing at biscuit tonight. Yzerman in the left wing corner. Comes out. Looks. Put it in front man there. Prober, but he's too well covered by the Pens. Gordy Roberts. And the Penguins take it away. Well, there was a time there when Prober was left alone like that. It only took that much time for him to whack it in. But the Penguins caught up to him in that instance. Down the right wing, Crossman now moving to the Penguins in on the power play. Swinging over to Yzerman. Another shot right on. That's not by Peter Angelo. I'll bet you Yzerman has 5 shots already in the period of Detroit's 11 that they have posted. And the Wings are forced to their own territory again. Here's Fedorov. 2:50 to go in the period. 54 seconds to go in the penalty. Fedorov, who can fly, breaks into the Penguins in. Jennings after him. Couldn't get to him. He goes to the right wing corner to Yzerman. Yzerman backing it behind the Penguin net to Steve Yzerman. Yzerman to Bob Probert in the far corner. Jennings coming after him. Yzerman gets the puck, though. Tapping it behind the Penguin goal, and Yzerman is hit on the play by Yuri Hrdina. Hrdina doing a good job here. Gets the puck, and here he comes on the move. Hrdina steps to his own blue line, stops, looks, finds a breaking man, but he let Recchi go into the zone. He shot the puck in to take the heat out of a hot kitchen, and we're down now to 20 seconds to go. Recchi all over the Red Wings. Doug Crossman. And Sean Burr now, and the Penguins leading 2-1. Final rush up. Gets the puck to Yves Racine. Racine on the attack to the left side of the Penguins in. Throws it behind the net. Sean Burr had it. He tried to centering. Gordy Roberts, another big defensive play to block the pass, and the Penguins sail it up ice. And they will kill it. And the Red Wings will be 0 for 2 on the power play. Penguins lead by 1 here in the first period. A steal by Francis of the Detroit line, but he is taken off the puck by Rick Zombo. Over to help out will be Mark Recchi, and he backhands it away to the Detroit right wing corner. Racine again back to touch the puck, and this will be an offside play against the Penguins, I believe. No, they're going to call icing against the Pens with 1:40 to go in the period. If he joined us late, Kevin Miller scored his 20th of the year for the Red Wings at 6:18, and then Coffey on a power play goal to make it 1-1 at 7:03, and at 7:15 the Penguins took the lead 2-1.
He's Racine of the Red Wings. They're looking for him to maybe help out in terms of his point play on the point, and the Red Wings don't have that point man. It's another team, and it seems like we've said that so many times this year. A team's looking for point men. The Penguins at one point this year had 4 of them the teams would like to have.
Well, the Red Wings thought at one point of the year that Racine was going to be their guy. He's had a couple of strong games, but it just hasn't panned out in the long run. And Brian Murray will work on that. He'll try and find somebody. The Red Wings will make the playoffs this year. They did not last season. And of course, Murray in his first season with this club. McCrimmon banking around the boards behind the Penguin net with 1:35 to go. If anybody's familiar with this Penguin team, it would be Brian Murray, of course, having coached the Capitals for all the years that he did, and off the glass and bounced away back into Detroit territory. Although he's probably seen a little different look of a Penguin squad that he saw earlier in the year, despite the fact that the Penguins dominated Detroit in the 2 games at Pittsburgh. And the Wings up the alley now. Garpenlov to the right wing, looks for Mark Potvin. Potvin swings his way to the Penguins in a backhand shot. Peter Angelo has a pretty easy time making that save. And we stop the play with 1:05 to go in the period.
For copiers, fax, typewriters, and guaranteed service, contact Simmons Business Systems, sponsoring Double Trouble for the 3rd straight year. $25 goes for each Double Trouble goal scored by the Pens to Make-A-Wish. Paul Coffey scored here tonight, so $2,475 has been donated to Make-A-Wish. Now the Red Wings, when they came in earlier this year, the Penguins commented, and particularly the Penguin goaltenders commented on how the Red Wings really don't drive to the net like a lot of teams that we've seen against Pittsburgh this year. And they do have a guy named Potvin in there now who came up from Adirondack, who's a tough player who will go to the net. They've added a little bit more of that in Probert, too.
Probert right around the Penguin goal up to the face-off. Tried to squeeze it by the pads of Peter Angelo. Couldn't do it with a minute to go in the period. And Brian Trottier simply sails it back to center to Randy Gillen into the Detroit zone with some room down the left wing. Trottier went to the net. It comes off the rebound. Score! Trottier puts it in. The Penguins have a 3-1 lead. I'll call Arnold Slick from Turtle Creek. Brian Trottier and Randy Gillen teaming up on the rebound play, and a pretty passing play by Trottier to set in Gillen, and then he looked for the rebound coming back, and he got it.
Brad Marsh, the defenseman, coming back, and Gillen drove hard into the Detroit zone and took that first shot, a good hard shot that forced Chevrolet to go down and make a pad save. But the rebound right there, nobody with Trottier as he went to the net and scored the goal. Brad Marsh came across to take Gillen, and I don't know where the other defenseman was.
I'll tell you, Trot still has the hands there, doesn't he, in front of the net. He made that play to turn it over, and he's a happy guy right now. I asked him, another championship team, huh, Trot's tonight? Before the game, he said, I just fell into this. I just fell into this situation. But he is, don't kid yourself. Right. He has been there before. He knows what it's all about, and he has certainly helped the Penguins this year. Here's Scotty Young. He's so humble, really, in what he has done in his career, and he'll go to the Hall of Fame. There isn't any question about that. 3-1 the Penguins lead, and here's Yzerman back into the Penguins in, put it in front. They can't shoot it. Around to the right side. Zombo has it for Detroit. Shoots it right on, and Peter Angelo has to make a big save there. You know, that's a situation you don't want to give up a goal quickly back after you worked hard to take a 3-1 lead.
Zombo does not have a fantastic shot. He's not really noted for his offense. He's an outstanding defensive defenseman. This was a good low shot that was deflected in front of Frank Pietrangelo, and he was just able to make that save. That almost went into the net. Well, the Red Wings got a stick on it out in front of Pietrangelo.
I'm not sure if Gillen was the only assist on the goal, but Trottier on the backhand shot makes it happen. The Penguins score with 48 seconds left in the period at 19-12, and they lead 3-1.
New Jersey has taken a 2-0 lead over Hartford in the first.
And Muller scored the opening goal. And to the right point. It comes to the left side of the Penguins into Racine. He shoots it through traffic. It hit at something and bounced free. Penguins able to gather it in, and Ronnie Francis dumps it over to Scott Young with 8 seconds to go. Shoots it ahead of the Detroit line, and Racine giving the puck to Yzerman. Down the left wing to Yzerman to Detroit. Stopped by Samuelson, who stares at the clock, and time runs out. Penguins with a big first period. They spotted the Red Wings the opening goal, but they bounced back, and they scored 3 in the period at the end of 1. The Penguins trying to gather their first ever Patrick Division title, and they have a 3-1 lead over the Red Wings right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Hi, it's me, Equibank's Money Tree. You know, when you need cash, you'll never be up a tree if you apply for a loan.
The Red Wings open the scoring at 6:18 of the first period. Kevin Miller with his 20th of the year from Sean Burr and Yves Racine, as he put it right between the legs of Peter Angelo to get the Red Wings off and running, but the Penguins countered less than a minute later. Paul Coffey was to score a power play goal from Kevin Stevens and Mark Recchi, and that tied the game at 1. The puck coming around to the left wing corner, and Stevens dumped it out to the left side to Coffey, who shot it. It may have hit Rick Green on the way in. Coffey just floated that one in and to beat Chevrolet. Then Yager scored for the Penguins. Yager on a backhand shot that beat Chevrolet, and that made it 2-1, and Trottier added a third to make it 3-1. Back to live action, second period, Detroit zone. Murphy shoots it. Moving right to left of the Penguins. That's blocked by Detroit, and the Red Wings feed it ahead to center now to Paul Yzerman. On the right wing to Kevin Miller, breaking quickly to the Penguins in. He comes right to the net, and he hit his back right on the post. The net never gave any ground at all. That's unusual. Usually you'll see come off the mooring. Schick, the referee, checks to make sure it's all right. Scotty Young now back in front. It went by Miller, who's stunned on that play, I believe. He just couldn't get his body free. He was hurt on that play going into the post. He couldn't get the shot up. Yzerman right side of the Penguins in, and now it'll be an offside call against Detroit as they come back into the Penguin zone.
Our Foodland Hot Shot contestant is Linda McDuffie of Uniontown. Kevin Stevens, the Hot Shot. $1,000 worth of groceries in the jackpot. Gordy Roberts just played a spectacular game last night, did a tremendous job in the final minutes and killing the penalty. And he said, you know, I think it was just a matter of getting the adrenaline flowing. It was just really pumping, and I knew I was going to be out there every other shift trying to kill the penalty, and he just kind of went crazy and just did the job he had to do. And he was on a mission. But he played strong the whole game, really. And that was just a culmination of an excellent game by Gordy Roberts.
Well, the icing call now against the Penguins brings the puck back into Pittsburgh territory. New Jersey leading the Whalers 2-0 at the end of one. New Jersey goals by Kirk Muller and Doug Brown. The Devils could move into a spot with 79 points. It would not move the Flyers away from them as far as a playoff possibility, because the Flyers could have more victories and gain 79 points by virtue of 2 victories over the weekend. Or actually, they play Washington on Thursday and Pittsburgh on Saturday. And from the drop of the disc now on the left side, comes around to the near corner. Back in behind the net, Brent Fetty comes up with it, turns and trying to stuff it in, and he couldn't do it. Off Peter Angelo, right to Peter Taglianetti, and out to center. 3-1 the Penguins lead here in the second, and Mark Recchi guns his way back to Detroit territory, looks for a trailer. Recchi feeds it towards the net. It bounces off legs, arms, bodies into the corner, and the Red Wings corral it, and they come racing back as Fedorov leads the attack. Fedorov moving to the Penguins in down the left side. Shoot it in behind the goal. Fedek is right there for Detroit. Centers it. Sean Burr was hooked and knocked down. No penalty called there. There could have been one on Bob Harry. Recchi going the other way to Coffey on the left wing. Burr is slow and getting up, and he hurt his shoulder as Recchi got the stick into him, I believe. Recchi has the puck now over to Herdina, but he fanned to the attempted shot. And here come the Red Wings. Brent Fetty looking at Burr. He's over to the bench right now, and he's favoring, you can't tell what he's favoring. Fedorov to the Penguins in. Walks in. Turning away from a check by Samuelson. Now moves it over right side. Over to Doug Crossman. Bring it in deep to the Penguins in. Walks right in front. Scores with a pretty play. Doug Crossman whipped around Coffey and then beat Peter Angelo. And the Red Wings get an early second period goal. And they make it 3-2. Doug Crossman, a pretty good offensive defenseman, came in and just worked his way around Coffey and then flipped it by Peter Angelo. And it's a 3-2 game.
Well, Crossman's one of those guys who, when he has the puck, he's very dangerous. He's been traded quite a bit in his career because he's not so hot when he doesn't have it, but that time he just blew around everybody and left Paul Coffey in the dust as he went around him. Well, Barry just kind of watched him come in deep and backed off, and then Coffey lost his edge on his skates and went down, and Crossman fired it into the net.
So Doug Crossman, the goal scorer for the Detroit Red Wings. They make it 3-2. And the goal by Crossman, who has come over from Hartford. He started the year with the Islanders, is 8th overall in the season. Fedorov will get an assist on it. And Brent Fetty also. So a 3-2 hockey game now. And the Penguins feed it to Detroit territory. Trottier went in against Brad Marsh. Boy, Marsh looks so out of place, doesn't he, without a helmet? It really is. He's probably more noticeable than anybody in the league, with that big flat top type haircut. He's a big strong guy. He looks like an old time hockey player. Pictures you'd see from the Hornet days back in the 60s. Brad Marsh. And here's Grant Jennings. Shooter ahead down the left wing. At center ice, Trottier couldn't get a handle on it. Here's Bob Probert with it. Probert to the wings, into the Penguins end down the left side. Went to Jimmy Carson. Back to Probert in the corner. Jennings all over him. Probert back in behind the goal, leaving the puck for Jimmy Carson. Trottier trying to shut down the attack on Jimmy Carson. Can't do it. Probert and Jennings now whacking away at one another, and now Jennings whacks him with a stick, and they went at it earlier this year, and now Probert comes after him, and Loney comes in. Probert takes a piece of him. And now one of the wings comes in, Zombo, and grabs Troy Loney out of the pack. Grant Jennings and Bob Probert, who earlier this year had a go when Probert, and Jennings was a member of the Hartford Whalers, and Fedek and Loney now are very close to whacking one, and Zombo are very close to going at it. Believe me.
Well, what happened was Jennings one-punched Probert earlier in the year in a game. Caught him, kind of suckered him really, and got him pretty good. But then Probert came back, chased him around, threw him around pretty good, but didn't get all of them. He didn't want to get as much of them as he wanted, and he was kind of upset about it. And I think he wants a piece of them again here. We'll be back in a moment. It's Pittsburgh 3 and Detroit 2 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Sometimes we like to engage in intellectual pursuits. At night, you can observe our wildlife in its natural habitat.
Preserve the wildlife.
Bob Probert apparently will get an extra minor penalty here after the altercation with Grant Jennings. Probert gets 2 for cross-checking and 2 for roughing.
What about Loney? It's a bad call by Schick, I think. I think Troy Loney's got to get a penalty there. Absolutely has to get one. He came in there to try to break it up, but he's coming to the aid of his teammate, and he really caused more of a problem than there might have been otherwise. It might have just been those two going at it. I think they got a break there.
Yep, he did step into him. There isn't any question about it. And trying to rough up Probert. And so we're back to play, and the Penguins have a power play and a 3-2 lead. And here's Kevin Stevens down the right wing, moving to the Detroit zone. Cuts in down the right wing corner, stops. Looking, Rick Green's on him. Rick Green, the former Capital and Canadian, to the right point. It comes to Ron Francis. Now to the left side of Paul Coffey. The Penguins without Mario Lemieux tonight, who's out with a bad cut on his eyebrow. 14 stitches worth suffered in the game last night against Philadelphia. He's got his eye entirely shut. Jokingly refer to him, he's down to 3 eyes now. And here comes Coffey on the play back to center. Go into the Detroit zone, put it between the legs of Rick Green. Now Francis gets a handle on it for the Penguins. Francis looking left point to Coffey, doesn't go that way. Look back, and Kevin Miller took it off his stick. And the Red Wings, 17 shorthanded goals on the year. Remember that? A long shot by Kevin Miller, and Peter Angelo got a stick on it.
That Miller is a good looking hockey player. You can see why some people were upset that the Rangers traded him.
And bounced away into Detroit ice. Brad Marsh around the boards. Fedorov let it go, and it hit the Penguin defenseman Murphy, but it does come to center over to Kevin Miller. It'll be a 2-line offside pass here against Detroit. Penguins are down to 46 seconds left on the power play. We didn't get a game summary sheet, I guess, from the first period.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't we?
I don't know where it went, but we did get one. Mike, I wanted to make mention of Brad Marsh. You know, he's out here with McCrimmon on his team, and also Doug Crossman. Those 3 guys were all members of the Flyers defense back in the early 80s when they had those 100-point teams. They've all been reunited here. The Flyers traded Brad Marsh, and you got the impression that they felt his career was over, but he's been able to play a couple of more seasons since he left Philadelphia.
And he might get a couple more with expansion on the horizon.
Right.
And Herdita coming out here with Phil Bourque and Jaromir Jagr. And Jagger's going to play on the right wing on this line right now. And Coffey of the Penguins on the power play. Coming up, feeds in the head of Jaromir Jagr, who has scored one of the 3 Penguin goals. He got around Marsh. Now one arms it, drop it back in the slot, but the Red Wings are right there to read the play. Can they clear? They will carry it up. And Fedorov, who almost assuredly, well, I don't say assuredly, because Eddie Belfour, I think, of the Chicago Blackhawks, and Fedorov, and you'd have to consider Mike Richter of the Rangers, too, in there. Here's Herdina to the left side, giving the puck over to Phil Bourque. Bourque now moved back in behind the net. Around to the right point to Scotty Young. 8 seconds to go on the penalty. Coffey over the right side. Here's Herdina. Moves in and tried to shoot it. It was blocked. To the right point again, Scott Young. Heavy shot right on, and Chevrolet will make that save, and Brad Marsh heard it, bouncing puck to the right point. Scott Young turning, spinning move. Hand pass called. He got it off towards Jagr, and he touched the puck. And the hand pass called against the Penguins. The penalty has expired.
We were talking about the Calder Trophy, by the way, with competition between Belfour, Fedorov, and Richter. I really think Belfour is going to win it, and he'll probably win the Vezina Trophy also, which would mean that he'd be the 3rd goaltender in history to win the Vezina and Calder Trophy in the same year. The other 2, one of them was Tony Esposito, and I can't remember who the 3rd one was, but it was a long, long time ago.
Did you get all that straightened out?
That's a rarity.
With the Vezina and the Jennings and all that?
Yeah, we got that all settled.
Did you? All right.
Straightened out last night.
Penguin goal scorers have been Paul Coffey, Jaromir Jagr, and Brian Trottier. And for the Red Wings, Kevin Miller and Doug Crossman have cashed in.
I think that Mike, just to talk about the Vezina and Jennings for a minute when we get an opportunity, why they did that, change the rule.
Jagr
up with a new award.
Into the Detroit end goes to Trottier, and he'll shoot one that'll sail wide of the cage. Grabbed by Yzerman, the Detroit captain. He's on the move to the Penguins end, zigzag in, and took a wrist shot that's blocked by Gordy Roberts. Penguins look for the loose puck, and Troy Loney plays it over to Ulf Samuelsson. Samuelsson with some room. Going to the Detroit line. Garpenlov tried to shut him down. He got a piece of him. And Zombo trickles it back all the way to Penguin real estate. Peter Angelo leaving the puck for Jaromir Jagr. Yager hops up on the play to center, passing softly to Trottier, back to Yager into Detroit ice. Couldn't give it back to Trottier, and a giveaway actually. Detroit going back into the Penguins end. Down the right side, Mark Potvin. Potvin wearing number 46 behind the Penguin net, trying to muscle his way beyond defenseman Gordy Roberts. Here's Samuelson with a big check on the Red Wings. Yzerman, and the Penguins get it. Good play by Samuelson. He took Yzerman right out of the action. You don't score when you can't get free. And Samuelson just pinned him against the boards and kept him there. It's a fine line between holding and the check, and Samuelson's very good at making the check on the player. That's cleared away by the linesman deep into Detroit ice, and a race for it. Rick Green and Recchi. And Rick Green still has some wheels. He got back to make the play to get the icing call. 13:47 to go in the second period. Pittsburgh 3, Detroit 2 here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Welcome to Pittsburgh. What can I rustle up for you, partner?
If you think you're saving money eating fast food, think about this. At King's, for the same money, you could get lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it.
Yippee-yi-yo!
Next time, make it King's.
At Detroit, Mike Lang along with Paul Steigerwald as the Penguins in their quest for a division championship in the Patrick division. The magic number 2, a victory by the Penguins tonight would give them the title outright. And here on the road, Penguins have been playing well on the road of late. The right side here is McCrimmon. Remember, the Penguins went on a 10-game winless streak on the road, really the low point of the year for them, including a 5-game excursion that took them around the world in 9 days, and they lost 4 of the 5 and had a tie. Here's Coffey to the Detroit end, comes down with a backhand shot. Cheveldae made the stop. Cheveldae has seen a lot of ice time for this Detroit team. Recchi in the Detroit end, swinging in front, and Bork can't quite tee it up. Bork now trying to lay it in front of the net, and he does. Cheveldae sweeps it aside. Recchi gets it again. Centers for Bork. He fell down. The Red Wings unable to clear. Here's Bork with a fake a shot, now moves in. Got a man on the right side. Recchi, and the pass was behind him.
You can't shoot if you score if you don't shoot. Then that's twice that Penguins passed up shots. Recchi and Bork.
Recchi or Gillen behind the net now, trying to stuff it down in front. Goes to Recchi. Recchi to the right point. To Taglianetti of Pittsburgh. His shot blocked by Keith Primo. Back behind the goal, and again it's Bork of Pittsburgh. Bork around to the near side, carries it well, and the slide, a backhand shot, and he just missed the goal. Bork looking for his 20th of the year. Unable to get it there, and back come the Red Wings. Recchi upset with himself that the Penguins did not score. He slams a stick against his body, a la Bo Jackson. Almost broke it in half on his thigh. Now Coffey finding Peter Taglianetti, and now let pass the center to Randy Gillen. Knocked off his stick. And back down to Penguin ice. Coffey wristed around the boards, back to the Detroit line. Crossman, who was scored here in the second period, the only goal, gave it away at center. Ronnie Francis, the Penguin center iceman, sweep it back in behind the Detroit net. 12:20 to go in period number 2. Pittsburgh 3, Detroit 2. Happy to have you on board our simulcast tonight, wherever you may be. Devils in the only other game in the NHL lead 2-0. Here's Fedorov shooting the puck on the Penguins in wide of the net. Grant Fennick now gets it to the near corner, and Gordy Roberts of Pittsburgh almost lost it. He does now to Fedorov. Fedorov has a man in front. He walks in and tries to shoot it himself. He doesn't. Peter Angelo stopped him on the short side.
Oh, what a player he is.
Scott Young, you bet he is. Down the left wing, going to Stevens. Stevens to the left point to Scott Young. On the right side of Larry Murphy, a slap shot right to the net, and Cheveldae will cut that off and make the pad save. And the Red Wings come out of their own net. They'll lay it ahead back to center. Roberts fumbles a little bit with it, got it ahead across 2 lines and touched by Stevens. 11:37 left in the second period. Penguins lead 3-2 here in Detroit on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Hi, it's me, Equibank's Money Tree. You know, when you need cash, you'll never be up a tree if you apply for a loan from Equibank. Just call 1-800-LOAN-LINE. It's as easy as 1, 2, tree. Equibank's Money Tree here. You know, I'm not going out on a limb when I say Equibank has the best MAC card, because we guarantee no fee till 1992. So come see the tree and get the MAC without the fee.
There's Sergei Fedorov, number 91. Coming to the Red Wings in 1991. He came in the summertime during the Goodwill games, was playing for the Soviet team against the U.S. team, took a penalty, and wanted to get thrown out of the game. Was thrown out of the game, left the ice, and never came back. Joined the Red Wings, left the building. Elvis left the building on that one and never came back.
Here's Bob Airy now to the left side. Herdina in the Detroit end. His slap shot off the stick of goaltender Chevelday. Herdina gets it again. Swing it down deep to Recchi. Walks in around the net. A backhand shot and a stop there in front with the defenseman, I believe. As the Red Wings broke up the play, Racine. Back on the attack, the Red Wings. The left wing, Kevin Miller. Will leave it now for Steve Yzerman. Moves in. His wrist shot. That's denied by the Penguins again on a block in front. Herdina scoots his way to center, but Yzerman took it away. He copped it up to Grant Jennings, and the Penguins set up shop again from their own line. And a two-line offside pass called as Jennings feeds it ahead to Recchi. I want to talk about Detroit's attendance. Their attendance tonight, 19,760. And the Red Wings have drawn over 700,000 people the last 5 years straight. Unbelievable.
This is a very big building. Start your own Penguins videotape library by calling Genesis Video Productions at 1-800-TRY-PENS to pick your favorite matchup. They don't leave a lot of room in the building for the press box, but they have a lot of seats in this place, 20,000 of them, and standing room only right now. They're lined up around the lower bowl here.
Brian Trottier in against Jimmy Carson.
And they are entertaining in this building. They really put on a good show for all these fans and have won a lot of games here. 25 wins.
Probert now shooting one that'll miss the Penguin net on the left wing boards. Down to the corner. Taglianetti looks for Coffey. Coffey got a stick on it. It bounces free though behind the net, and the Red Wings in fighting for it, and they'll freeze it right behind the Penguin goal. Gary Schutchuk out here for the Red Wings. Dr. Paul Stanton, who played with him at Wisconsin, said he is extremely quick. But you know, Paul played with him on a college level too, and you get up to the bigs, and his speed won't be quite as noticeable as it is in the colleges on a consistent basis.
Peter Taglianetti,
because there's other guys that can skate as quick as he can.
You're right. Taglianetti, a +18 in 39 games with the Penguins. He's really played well.
A very warm day here in Detroit, a humid day, thunderstorms, and the threat of tornadoes actually in the area. Going to expect heavy, strong winds here tonight, which in all probability may be heading eastward. So we would imagine the weather forecast for Pittsburgh tomorrow is along those lines. On the left side of the Penguins, Jimmy Carson knocked off his skates on a check. Loney tried to get a piece of Rick Green, who moved in deep on the play. He did get a piece of it. Now the Penguins have it, and Peter Taglianetti turns it over to Trottier, out to Yager with those long strides, trying to get around McCrimmon down the left side, comes down and shoots it. And that's stopped by Chevrolet. May have hit the post after it hit his blocking glove. In behind the net, Troy Loney. Loney and Yager crisscrossing. Yager has the puck. He stops on a dive, turns, and almost stopped that one in. Unbelievable moves by Yager. Back it comes to center.
Yarmir loves to play with Trottier and Loney. That's his favorite line mates now. Remember when when Herdina first came, you thought he had to play with him.
Now Loney with a slap shot in the Detroit end. Stick save made by Chevrolet. Here come the Red Wings gunning out on a 3-on-3. Fedek now trying to lay it in front. He can't do it, and Murphy stole the puck, and he goes right now to Trottier. Back on the right wing. Caulfield just on for the Penguins. Off the boards. Caulfield drop it back. Caulfield's skating, I think, has improved this year. He really looks strong, and of course he hasn't played a whole lot. When you go through the course of a season, you need some fresh players, and Caulfield looking pretty good here on the shifts that he's taken for Bob Johnson tonight. Lifted down the left wing into the Detroit zone, and the Penguins might be called for icing here. Fedorov to touch it with 9:06 to go. The advantage will be back. 3-2 Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network.
What would you do if someone took away your yellow pages?
My yellow pages?
The Bella Pennsylvania yellow pages?
You and what army? No.
People want to hold on to the book with more choices.
Hey, no. My yellow pages don't even think about it.
It's the book 9 out of 10 use, and when asked to choose, most people won't let go. The genuine Bella Pennsylvania yellow pages. No other book can match it. A Bella Atlantic company.
Yeah, Jaromir Jagr, everywhere we go still at this point, even in the late part of the season, people keep asking, how does he say his name? I actually got by Chevelday and hit the post to the outside. How does he say it? What is his name? Well, they'll know. Here's Zombo shooting it. Jagr's got 25 on the year. And it won't be too long before that'll be a regular name in the National Hockey League, Jaromir Jagr. Here's Keith Primo. Primo drafted ahead of Jagr in this year's draft. Actually, Jagr taken 5th overall. And at one point, I really believe the Penguins entertained the thoughts of taking Keith Primo, but Craig Patrick then was able to work at what he thought would the ability to get Yager here. Recchi took a hard check against the Penguin bench area. He's going to come off the ice, and the puck is shot into the Detroit zone. Recchi's been hit twice here tonight and banged up pretty good, and the puck out of play.
Well, it's kind of strange that the Red Wings weren't interested in Jaromir Jagr. They certainly have the confidence to know they could have gotten him. It wasn't a case of that. I mean, they feel they can get anybody. They have 2 Soviet players coming next year, and they're pretty confident they're going to get them. Defenseman Konstantinov and a winger named Kozlov.
They might have been looking for that big center iceman.
Right.
Well, I don't know, though. You know, they've got Carson and Yzerman here, and then you add Primo to the lineup. But they felt they wanted size. I think I remember when talking about that, they wanted a player with size, and they don't have a real big center ice core, although Fedorov is not smallish by any means.
I'll tell you something, just watching Fedorov here, I can see why Brian Murray says he's his best two-way center, because he's all over you when he kills penalties, and he gets on people too. He takes the body, very involved physically in the game, in addition to having those tremendous skills.
And here at center ice, Crossman, the Red Wings trail 3-2. They get it over to the left side, and they're offside going to the Penguin zone. And we'll pause with 8:07 to go in period number 2. The Penguins lead Detroit 3-2 here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Because we know what you like. Foodland now accepts MasterCard, Visa, and the Mac Card at 80 of our stores and more to come. Why don't the other stores offer this convenience? Maybe they don't know what you like.
At the Double Coupon Store, there's Cook's semi-boneless ham, 98 cents a pound. Maxwell House Coffee, $4.59. Hillshire Farms Kielbasa, $1.89 a pound. I can't believe it's not butter, 99 cents, and all detergent, $9.99. This week at Foodland.
I wanted to mention before our last break, the Red Wings might have an advantage in this game in the third period because the Penguins played last night and then traveled here. And I don't know about you, but got to bed around 3 o'clock this morning. And we're playing this game today. The Red Wings were idle last night, but the Penguins wanting to win that division championship for the first time. And you know the adrenaline's going right now. And here is Grant Jennings, but a penalty coming up. And it's going to be against the Penguins for high sticking. Grant Jennings, high stick, Kevin Miller. And it'll allow the Red Wings an opportunity here to try and tie the game. Penalty at 12:08 of the first period, the second period. And it'll be the Red Wings' third chance. The Penguins 1 for 3 tonight on the power play. The Red Wings have failed to score on 2 opportunities.
It's amazing that the Red Wings could be 20th on the power play in the NHL with the skill players that they have. But again, having that point man, that quarterback on the power play is so important. That's why they got Crossman, hoping that he would fill that void for a while. The same reason why the Hartford Whalers got him from the New York Islanders, and probably the same reason why the New York Islanders got him from the Los Angeles Kings. He's just one of those guys who keeps going to teams because he does have that ability to work on the power play.
And originally started his career with Chicago.
Right.
And then went to Philly. And there's Samuelson. Off the near boards, it comes over to Probert in the Penguin zone. Red Wings down 3-2. Get an opportunity here to try and tie the game. But up with the tag on Nettie. Can he sneak it by Yzerman? He can't do it. Yzerman off the boards, comes in, a wrist one, and scores. Yzerman right off the body of Frank Pietrangelo. And the Red Wings have tied the game on a power play goal.
Yzerman was the leading scorer in the American Hockey League. He can score goals. This team got him from the Devils. That shot came in on the short side and hit a skate and jumped over Frank Pietrangelo. I think it hit 2 skates on the way in. Kind of a peculiar goal, really. But look at that. You think Frankie could see that shot at all with Yzerman standing right in front of him?
Yzerman, the goal scorer, and his 17th of the year. Yzerman has 13 now with the Red Wings, had 4 with New Jersey in 11 games. So he ties the game. The Red Wings have knotted it up. Here is Gillen now back to the Detroit end. His shot right up the left pad of goaltender Chevalier. The Red Wings take command of it, and Fedorov leave it ahead on the left wing to Sean Burr. And it's an offside play. No, it's not either. The fans on it would be, and it was nothing called. Here is Burr, though, shooting the puck right to the net by Pietrangelo. I'm not sure what they were upset about. I thought there would be a whistle on the play, and there wasn't. Yzerman from Probert. I was looking at the scoreboard, and I thought the play was going to be stopped, Paul.
I think the fans thought it should have been stopped, too.
And it might have been from somebody hitting somebody. Sean Burr, you remember, got rattled pretty good on a play earlier by Bob Airy. Knocked down around the Penguin net.
Oh, an elbow. Right to the face of Sean Burr by Peter Taglianetti.
And that was what they were screaming about. 7:07 they go in the second period.
How's that feel, Sean? Got a little shiner on that right cheek.
Steve Yzerman out here with Kevin Miller and Paul Yzerman. Yzerman, when he played in New Jersey, at least allowed people to call him Ice Bart. But now he wants Yzerman here in Detroit. Heaven knows what it'll be if he moves further west. It might be Yzerman. And here is Peter Angelo stopping it. Just kidding. Anybody knows him, don't get upset. The net, and Peter Angelo hauls it in. Another face-off in the Penguin zone. Red Wings have outshot the Penguins 18-15, and the game tied now at 3.
Frankie was the backup for the last 12 consecutive games and will be the backup going into the playoffs with Wendell Young on the shelf. So it's up to Frankie to spell Barrasso when the situation calls for it. And a good opportunity really for Frankie to work for the Penguins in some key games perhaps. He might not ever have to step in there, but then again he might too. You never know.
19s match it up. Trottier against Yzerman. Left side of the Penguins in the circle to the right of Peter Angelo. And the Penguins win the draw as Trottier to Taglianetti to Coffey now, and back to Peter Taglianetti. Penguins trailed 1-0, scored the next 3 goals, and now watch the Wings come back to score 2. Young into the Detroit in. His slap shot way wide of the net. Buck was on edge when he let it go, and he didn't find the target. Backed around to center, and here's Yzerman cruising back into the Penguins end. Yzerman wheel and deal in a circling motion. Yzerman left point as Racine is shot off the leg of Young, comes right side of McCrimmon, and he blasts one that'll miss. Young looking for Stevens breaking up ice. It went beyond his reach, and McCrimmon leaves it at center ice. Penguins trying to pick the tempo up a little bit now, and it's going to be called on an offside or a hand pass here, I believe, against the Pens.
Brad McCrimmon has played in every division in the National Hockey League. And each time he was in that division, I think it's safe to say that was the best division in the NHL. He was with Boston when they had the best division, with Montreal, Quebec, and Boston all playing tremendous hockey in those years. Then he moved on to Philadelphia, where the Flyers were the best team in the league, and the division was very, very competitive with the Flyers, Rangers, Capitals, and Devils, and Penguins. Then he moved on to the Calgary Flames, where the Flames and Oilers were so competitive every year in and year out. And now here, where the Norris division has Chicago and St. Louis. So it seems like the competitiveness just kind of follows Brad McCrimmon around.
And from center ice, the Red Wings stepping back to the Penguin line. Fedorov sneaks it back into the Penguins end. Peter Angelo got a stick on it. It comes off the far side. Fedorov has it. Fedorov working around deep to Sean Burr. Put it in front. Peter Angelo stopped that. Loose puck. Who will get it? Murphy clears it away. A penalty coming up against the Penguins again. And Zombo rattling Jerry Herdina in the near corner on a booming check. But the penalty will be called here against the Penguins. I believe Gordy Roberts will be sent to the box. And we'll be back. Detroit and Pittsburgh tied at 3. The Red Wings threatening to take the lead again on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Power buying saves, save at Farmore.
Save on name brands all through the store.
Farmores, here's a Farmore.
Everyday low prices save you far more.
Save at Farmore.
Diving big, saving too. Half the savings are to you.
Power buying saves, save at Farmore.
Shop the Farmore, not far from you.
You know, this is a situation where the Penguins could really use Mario Lemieux, I believe, in a game. Lemieux, that's a threat shorthanded. The Red Wings go to the power play again.
Yep. Gordy Roberts called for holding Brent Fedek around the net. And kind of pull him down, but that was after the puck was apparently frozen. The problem was it was not frozen. It was still loose in the crease, and the play continued, and Roberts was called for the penalty.
Lemieux, by the way, in 16 games lifetime against Detroit, has 41 points. Over 2.5 a game against them. But he's not in the Penguin lineup. And here's Yzerman in against Recchi. Penalty killing. The Red Wings 1 for 3, and they pull it back. It went by the point man and back to center circle. Detroit sets up shop now, and Crossman will be one of the 2 point men. Fedorov on the left side, but the Penguins steal, and Recchi Back into the Detroit end, puts the brakes on, looking for the stick handle in, looks for a man on the left side of the screen, Jennings, and he fires it, and he just missed the net. Chevrolet stretched out. I don't think he expected that shot to be as hard as it was by Jennings, although it didn't find the cage. And Bob Probert now rambling back to the Penguin line for Detroit. Runs into Alf Samuelson, and Probert took the worst of that as he went down, and Recchi again 1-on-3 to the Detroit end with speed against Fedorov. Hook knocked down, nothing called. Recchi might have been trying to draw one there as he went in. He felt the body and stick of Fedorov, and he went right on his wallet on top of the puck.
Remember the other night when Recchi was dumped in the game between the Penguins and New Jersey Devils, and he went crashing to the ice, hurt his shoulder. He was on the bench and very upset with the referee, but it really hurt his shoulder, and he's had that shoulder problem all year long, and he says it really bothers him when he gets hit. Other than that, though, he doesn't really let it bother him too much. It's just as soon as something like that happens, it affects him for a little while, and then it goes away. I don't know about going away, but just the pain is not as acute. But it must be tough for Recchi to play his game with that shoulder problem that he has.
Well, it won't get any better now with the playoffs coming, because it is the tempo increases and the intensity goes up another level. Now the Red Wings with 1:22 to go in the penalty to Gordy Roberts. 5:25 left in the second period. Pittsburgh 3, Detroit 3. And lifted back to Yzerman, and Yzerman at center. He'll play one of the points right now out with Racine, and Yzerman guns his way to the Penguins end. Looks in front now for Carson, cutting with a goal, and he couldn't quite get it through to him. Carson will chase it down. Yzerman goes left point to Racine. Feed it down the boards, but Herdinez there. Can he clear? Bounced off his body, still loose, and Herdina got it to the blue line and not out. Carson left side, and a quick shot from the left wing side by Kevin Miller. Stopped by Frank Pietrangelo. And bounced off the boards all the way to the Detroit goal. Chevrolet with 50 seconds left in the penalty. Turn it quickly to Racine. He looked for Jimmy Carson. Carson does not appear to be in this game at all, does he? Backpedaling will be Racine. But those kind of players all of a sudden have a way of jumping up and biting you right in the nose when you least expect it. And here down the left wing goes Yzerman, cruising back into the Penguins end, and an offside play against Detroit. With less than a half a minute to go. The Hartford Whalers have scored at New Jersey, and the Devils lead there 2-1 in the second period.
What a competitor Steve Yzerman has been for the Red Wings.
Great battles between Yzerman and Lemieux against one another, and particularly in this building.
He seems to get all pumped up when Mario's in town. But you haven't heard as much about Steve Yzerman this year as you have in other seasons, and yet there he is right at the top again.
Yeah, well, there's a guy named Brett Hull that's taken the headlines away from everybody.
That's right. He played with Bob Airy at Peterborough. They were line mates.
You know, and I can't say enough about Wayne Gretzky, really. I mean, now my hat is off to him. I mentioned this about 2 weeks ago. The numbers he is putting up this year. He's got 161 points now. He has been so strong, and the Kings are on a roll. Down the left wing. Shot in behind the net. Gretzky, again, I think has to be the odds-on favorite along with Brett Hull to win the MVP in the league. Lifted back into Detroit ice. I would think, at least from, well, I don't want to get involved here because I haven't seen any of the clubs that much, but I think actually St. Louis's defense would be better than the Kings, and I think they've done it on a lot of spark and, you know, overall defense as a team. Down the left wing it comes to Troy Loney. Loney moves in. He shoots it towards the net. That's stopped by Chevrolet. Loney's in on top of him. The loose puck bouncing to the right wing corner. Centered now for Loney, trying to muscle his way in around the defenseman Crossman, and he can't get the shot off, and the Red Wings come back with less than 4 minutes to go in the period. They go to the left side to Bob Probert. Probert shoots it towards the net. That's blocked by Yzerman. His own man, Yzerman, taps it over to Probert and shoots it right at the shoulder of goaltender Pietrangelo. Troy Loney comes over. Loney tap it ahead to Samuelson. Samuelson up in the play. Jennings must have taken a check from Probert. It draws a reaction from the crowd. Back behind the play. Here in the Detroit zone, Rick Green finding Kevin Miller. And Murphy will backpedal now, skating backwards as Kevin Miller comes in against him. Turns around, circles, shoots into the deep into the right wing corner. McCrimmon went in. He pokes it behind the net, but Gordy Roberts is right there to play the puck for the Penguins. And out to Troy Loney. Loney with Yager on the right wing. Loney instead goes left side to Trottier. Back on the right wing to Loney in deep. Loney goes behind the net. Over to Yager. Went right by him, and the Red Wings will capture it. And here they come with less than 3 minutes to go in the second period. 3-3 the score. Yzerman stepping back to the Penguin stripe. Comes down the slot now. Makes a little move and a backhand attempt blocked by Larry Murphy, who reached him with that long reach and got a stick on that shot by Steve Yzerman. Stevens looking for Yager, and Yager Finds a trailing Murphy down the left wing to Francis, who just stepped on, comes to the Detroit end. He shoots it, and it's just off the glove of goaltender Cheveldae. Up the right side, Scott Young in the Red Wings end. Tried to center it. Couldn't make that happen to the Red Wings. Get a counterattack going. They go to the right wing. Mark Potvin got around defenseman Coffey. Potvin comes in, and he centers it. It went right by everyone. Yzerman off the boards to Fedorov. Fedorov to Yzerman. Look out in front. Potvin there. Did he score? No. Peter Angelo just robbed him. Peter Angelo just robbed Mark Potvin from in front of that net. Big save. Potvin and the Red Wing fans thought that he had a goal. The light never went on, and Peter Angelo kept him away. 2:11 to go in the period. Pittsburgh 3, Detroit 3. Here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Owning a small business isn't easy, but the biggest challenge I had to face was finding good health coverage. No one wanted to take a chance on covering my little shop, except Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They even gave me a rate I can afford. You know, I read all this stuff in the papers about all kinds of people in this country that don't have health coverage. It's a good thing Western Pennsylvania has Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Mark Potvin still looking for his first NHL goal and looking for it through that full visor on his face because he has a broken cheekbone. And he's a tough customer, and I told you he likes to go to the net. And when you have guys like Yzerman and Fedorov feeding you around that cage, you're going to get some chances. And he just stood in front and tapped that puck as it came to him. But Peter Angelo anticipated well and was able to make the save. Big save by Frankie there. And there's Mario Lemieux on the bench. And that left eye is just about shut. He can hardly even see out of it, if he can at all.
In Pittsburgh territory, Taglianetti, the Penguin defenseman. Shoots it up ahead. Taglianetti collided with Brent Feddick. And I'm not sure what the call was here. Did the puck go out of action? Apparently it did. And, you know, people here heard him talking before the game. He said, like Cam Neely, he comes here, doesn't ever play. He doesn't ever play. If they could take a look at him right now, they know why he's not playing. You don't want to take a chance with that situation with the playoffs coming up if he gets hit there again. So they'll get him a couple of days off, and hopefully it'll respond.
Mario said it came close, too. It came right up underneath the eyebrow and hit that bone that pretty much protects your eye, and that's why that bone is there, really. Unfortunately for Mario, it didn't catch him in the eye, and I'll tell you for everybody else too.
Well, and I know you mentioned it went up higher on it, but when I saw him moving those legs, I mean, that first reaction is it's in my eye. You know, that scared me. But fortunately, it's up to the top part and on the forehead. In fact, Bill Clement after the game, the Flyer broadcaster, said he's really kind of lucky that it was up top and not below. He said he really would have had heavy swelling if it had been down below. Really tough to come back. Feddick in the Penguins end, shoots it over the net, hit the glass, and those guys know they've been hit there enough times. Right point, Zombo shoots it, deflected, hit the post behind Peter Angelo. Now Taglianetti, and the Penguins in trouble right now. Coffey with 1:40 to go, trying to give it back to Tags, and they'll look to get it out. Can't do it, a giveaway. And the Red Wings putting pressure on. Samuelson's after the puck. He just got on the ice. Around to Taglianetti, who's belted, knocked down by Burr, and a penalty coming up against Sean Burr. He went after Taglianetti, trying to return the favor on the elbow that he gave him, and Burr gets caught. Now Taglianetti be wise now to just back off here if he can, because it gives the Penguins a power play in a 3-3 game with 1:24 to go. You know where that comes from. That goes back to that elbow that he got from Taglianetti earlier in the game. Now this will be the Penguins' 4th power play chance.
Well, that shot came from the right point, skipped over the leg of Peter Angelo and went off the post and behind him and came back out. And Taglianetti got a vicious hit from behind by Burr. Caught him off balance. Boarding the call. Dangerous hit there.
So a boarding call allows the Penguins to work with the man advantage, and they will do so at the moment with Ronnie Francis, Mark Recchi, and Kevin Stevens on the front line. Murphy and Coffey as point men. And the Penguins scored on 1 power play chance. That a goal by Coffey in the first period. They had a 3-1 lead at the end of 1, now tied at 3. And Coffey backing behind his own net. This penalty will carry over to the 3rd period if they do not score. On the left wing, Larry Murphy scoots back into the Detroit end. He tried a little drop pass, and the Red Wings break it up, and they have it. McCrimmon dumps it ahead back to the Penguins into the rink. Coffey coming back. He really hasn't been able to get his legs on crank tonight. He's not really flowing too well. Coffey, and here's Murphy to center. Shoots it up the backside of Stevens and just checked away by the Red Wings and again back. When Coffey's on his game, he's picking that puck up and he is just controlling the situation, but he's not been able to really get any rushes our way tonight. Down the left wing, Recchi cuts in deep to the Detroit end, put it in front. Stevens there trying to poke it in. He can't do it. Francis fights for it, can't get it. Now Recchi over to the center point to Coffey, fires it, scores! The Penguins get another power play goal. It might have been Recchi or Stevens in front, and the Penguins have the lead 4-3. Ah, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. I believe it may be Recchi who deflected it. We'll wait and see. The play is way down at the other end of the rink from where we are. Coffey shot it, though.
It's good to see Coffey shooting the puck again. I think he was reluctant to shoot it earlier and might not have shot that a week ago because, remember, against Chicago, he just wasn't shooting it. But that time he got rid of it in a hurry. Even though he had 2 Red Wings coming right at him, he just decided to let go of the shot. Possibly also because he knew there wasn't much time, but he was able to get it in that one spot where there was an opening. That was an unbelievable shot by Coffey.
Well, they give it to Coffey, but I think it was touch, Paul.
I don't know if it was or not, because it went right in that opening. It's almost like he was aiming for the spot he put it in. Just above the left pad, below the glove of Chevrolet, inside the right post.
Now, an icing call against the Penguins, and the Penguins have the lead again. They give Coffey the goal, his 24th of the year, second of the game, and the second power play goal by the Penguin defenseman. He's so important on the Penguins power play, and he gets credit for it right now. The Penguins have only 7 shots in the period.
This season, 9th power play goal for Paul Coffey, assisted by Mark Recchi and Kevin Stevens.
Recchi and Stevens have the assist. Now Recchi is figured in on 1, 2, 3 of the Penguin goals tonight.
Good work by Coffey to get that shot away. He shot it around 2 forecheckers and inside that post. He threaded the needle from all the way out by the blue line. Coffey averages 1.29 points per game in his career. Only Bobby Orr averages more among defensemen in the history of this game. 1.39 was the average for Bobby Orr.
And Coffey almost assuredly next year, barring any injury, will break the NHL record for the most goals and points in a year. And assists too. Back in behind the Penguin net. Somebody's got a broken stick. It's Roberts, who does not have a blade. Scott Young trying to get it out. Now here's Samuelson hit by Bob Probert. Penalty coming up against Probert. He's going off. Trying to put the stick now into Wolf Samuelson, but Probert's going to draw another penalty. And the Red Wings are going to be shorthanded again in a 4-3 Penguin lead.
Tell you, Potvin and Probert just ran Wolf Samuelson in the corner. You think maybe Wolfie gets under the skin of players at all?
Probert's going to the locker room, but he'll draw the penalty, and the Red Wings can ill afford this situation with the Penguin power play smoking as it is.
Probert's been able to keep himself pretty much under control this year. That's what everybody's saying. But here tonight, he has gotten a little bit out of control. Samuelson went into the corner, and watch Potvin. He came from a long way to run him. Boom. He met him right in the corner, and then Probert came in and did the same thing and drilled him to the back of the head.
Well, they weren't going to give a penalty to Potvin, which I thought was a pretty good check, but then Probert came in and whacked him, and now he doesn't need the lumber. Believe me, Probert doesn't. Not with the size and the ability that he has, instead of waving sticks at people.
But the reason that they went after him is what I'd like to see. It happened earlier around the net when Probert was upended and kind of landed on the back of the goal cage on the meshing and lost his stick for a moment.
Elbowing the call, and the Penguins have their 5th power play chance, and almost assuredly it's going to carry over to the 3rd period as the Penguins lead 4-3 now here late in the 2nd. They led 3-1 at the end of 1. Watch the Wings come back and tie it.
And the Penguins keep proving night in and night out that if you take penalties against them, liberties against them, especially those kinds of penalties, bad ones, they'll make you pay for them.
And that'll be particularly of interest, particular interest to teams that are scouting the Penguins for the playoffs right now and taking a look at them. And they drop the puck, and it's ran with the Detroit end. We've played 2. That's it. The end of the 2nd period. The Penguins 4 and Detroit 3 at the end of 40 minutes right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Doug Crossman scored for the Detroit Red Wings early in the 2nd period. His 8th goal of the year. He just waltzed around Paul Coffey. Coffey lost the edge on his skates and went down. Crossman came in and put it between the legs of Frank Pietrangelo. It had been 3-1 Penguins after 1 period, and Crossman made it 3-2, and then Isabart was able to beat Frank Pietrangelo on a power play from Probert, his 17th goal of the year. And then Kevin Stevens got a goal. This was a goal that originally we thought Paul Coffey got. He shot from the point. Stevens got a stick on it somewhere along the way. It was right in front of the goaltender Chevelday, and it jumped over his left pad and into the net. It was a great shot by Coffey while it lasted, but Stevens got a stick on it and was really the man who got credit for the goal.
Well, he got it within 10 feet.
Oh, Jason Coulter of Pittsburgh picks up $100 on our Iron Man Advantage contest.
Hey, Jason.
And we have another contestant on our hot shot contest, but we need a new player. Mike, I'm going to let you pick him again.
You want a new player?
Yeah, Betty Carney is our contestant.
For $100.
$100 worth of groceries. Who would you like it to be?
Yuri Herdina.
Okay.
We'll go with George.
You pick it this time, buddy. I'm going to start having you play numbers for me.
Yeah.
Daily number.
Yeah, the only numbers I know are numbers. Well, my children's children will never see the numbers I pick. I can guarantee you that. Here's Recchi now, and the Penguins in. The Penguins on a power play to begin the third period. 1:52 to go. Penguins trying to get the magic number themselves here tonight, and that is 2. And if they can do that, they will win the Patrick division. And chopped away to the Red Wings right wing corner. Rick Green went in, but the Penguins working away from him. Larry Murphy has it left point pass to Coffey. Coffey fires it right to the net, and it's gloved by Chevelday, and he pulls it in with that left paw. Coffey kind of shakes his head. Boy, he's had some big games in a Penguin uniform here in this building, Paul Coffey. And he particularly when he moves this way, moving left to right, it seems like he really comes on strong. I don't know what it is.
You're right. We've seen him score some pretty goals here and had some big games. The Penguins won in here 7-2 a couple of years ago, and he had a big night. He and Mario both.
This face-off will be in the Detroit Inn. We're in a broadcast location that actually is access to more of the press box, and there's a fellow here that is, I don't even know why he came to the game. He's walked back and forth from this end to the other at least 50 times. He hasn't sat down yet. And he's got a book in this. I'm not sure what he's doing. I almost want to say to him, oh, you didn't buy a ticket, did you? And whacked by the Red Wings back down to the Penguins in. Pietrangelo will stop it. And Coffey skate stop behind his own net. Kevin Miller with good pressure on him. Coffey working around over to Larry Murphy and back to Coffey. And the doctor looks to make the play. I'm looking for the Penguins bench to see if Lemieux is down there again. He's not. He got him the lead, so he went back wherever he was. Here's Recchi to the right wing over to the Detroit end. And Francis played it to Coffey, who kept it in with a skate with a good maneuver. Now the near corner to Stevens. Back over to Murphy, who makes a good play. Hands it over to Ronnie Francis of Pittsburgh, trying to go cross rink to Coffey, and it's cut off. And slammed by the Red Wings down to the Penguin zone with 20 seconds to go on the penalty to Probert. Coffey just leaves it behind the net.
See Fedorov with good pressure, and they're going right after Paul Coffey. Brian Murray's been scouting what the other teams have been doing against the Penguins.
Oh,
Power play. He knows what to do. He knew anyway.
And he knows Coffey. In the days in Washington, Alf Samuelson slows it down now. The Penguins fail to score in this power play chance. They're 2 for 5 tonight. Down the right wing, Stevens, man in front right there. Shot, score! Ronnie Francis gets the goal from the Penguins, and they make it 5-3. Oh, buck 'em, Dano. Ron Francis with a goal, and the Penguins. Kevin Stevens is down in the corner.
His stick is stuck in the blade of his skate, and they can't get it out.
No, I was hoping he's all right.
He's all right.
Now, Artie's having a big night tonight for the Pens. That's a goal and 2 assists now as he sets up Ronnie Francis.
Perfect pass. Now watch what happens. Stevens goes against the boards here. I hope he didn't get hurt. I don't think he did, but his stick ended up in his own skate. See, it's stuck there. It's not his stick. It's another player's stick, and it's in the blade, and that's why he went down. He just tripped over it and couldn't get it out. Ronnie Francis with his second goal as a Penguin, and a big one there to give the Penguins a 2-goal bulge again. 5-3 here early in the third.
So Ron Francis is 23rd of the year.
Boy, there's a quiet confidence about Ron Francis.
Well, the whole bench right now, Staggy. The whole bench and the whole team right now knowing that they're within range here of winning this championship. And here is Eisenbart to the Penguins in over to Yzerman. Cuts for the net. He's right there. His shot blocked by Samuelson. They got to stick out of the very last second to make that defensive play. Now the Red Wings have it again. They go behind the Penguin net. They center for Yzerman, who turns and shoots it. That missed the goal. We never did get any sheets here from the periods, the summaries of it. I'm trying to find out how many shots Yzerman had, but we're down so far here. We're almost outside on the river. Back come the Penguins, and here's Yager with a breakaway. Yager coming to the Detroit end, and on goal, little move, and he shoots and scores. Jaromir Jagr with his second, and the Penguins now lead by the score of 6-3. Now, goaltender Cheveldae didn't know whether to cry or wind his watch.
Now, let me ask you this, Mike. Remember early in the year when Jaromir Jagr scored, and we talked about how he didn't seem to really know what to do, how to celebrate the goal and everything, because, you know, I guess they don't do a lot of that over in Europe. After he beat Cheveldae here with another great move to the backhand, he loves to deke goaltenders. He did the little clutch with the hand, a nice little quiet clutch with the hand, and he is really starting to come on in all facets of the game.
Jaromir Jagr and the Penguins scored twice in a span of 34 seconds, and they now lead 6-3.
I'm not getting the announcement here. I can't hear the PA, but we'll get you the assists.
Well, there's only one assist, and Jagr gets the goal, his 26th of the year, second of the night. And Bob Probert wheels it ahead. Jennings had the only assist on the goal, and Jagr on the breakaway scored against Cheveldae. So the Penguins now lead 6-3 here at Detroit. And they shoot it ahead to the Detroit zone, back behind the net. Going for it as Crossman. We have an icing call against the Penguins. And we'll be back. The score, the Penguins 6, Detroit 3, here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
If someone told me there was a 90% chance of rain, I'd carry an umbrella. And if someone told me there was a 90% chance lightning would strike this spot, I'd move. Now, if someone told me 90% of the people use the genuine Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages, I'd put an ad in it. The genuine Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages, nor the book and match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
Well, Fedorov with 31 goals coming into this game. Jagr now has a couple of more to add to that, and you can bet that he was aware of the fact that he was playing against that other rookie who's getting all the attention in this league, Fedorov.
And wheeled away behind the Penguin goal again. Coffey coming up with it. Coffey looked to get it out, and he could not. The Red Wings steal. Kevin Miller shoots one. That'll be deflected. Grabbed by Rick Green, deep in the corner to Fedorov. Fedorov over to Burr, and a quick shot and a good save by Peter Angelo on Sean Burr, who just swept aboard towards the net. And the Penguins cleared up the boards and back down to Detroit territory. Burr has to go back and play the puck around the horn near side for Sergei Fedorov. And Fedorov in the wings. If they lose tonight, will definitely finish under 500 for the year. Kevin Miller on the left side. The Red Wings have been at the 500 mark. The last time they were there was January 22nd. Penguins again storm back, and here's Coffey to the left side Detroit zone. He slams a slap shot that'll miss the mark. And off the wood, and Karam's right back to the Penguin line. Samuelson backpedaling. He will find Grant Jennings. The Penguins trailed in this game 1-0. Came back. Zombo colliding with Randy Gillen at center. Zombo had his helmet dislodged, and here is Mark Potvin to the right side of the Penguins end, trying to get around Ronnie Francis. He'll step in deep. Fedorov there looking for the puck too. Jennings will move him away from it. Loose behind the Penguin goal, and Ulf Samuelson slowly trickles it ahead for Scott Stevens, and he flips it back to center. 15.5 to go in the third period. Pittsburgh 6, Detroit 3. And off the boards and back to center, where it's Rick Zombo again, helmetless. Goes around his own helmet now, back at his own blue line, and shoots it back towards the boards, and it went into the Detroit bench. Now, that was like those pylon drills you have in practice, where you come back and skate around.
Potvin and Jennings squaring off. And Potvin got into a fight with Wendell Clark recently, and Clark ripped his helmet off him on purpose so that he could get at him. He wanted to break that cheekbone again if he could. Potvin had to fight 3 members of the Toronto Maple Leafs team: Ramage, Luke Richardson, and Wendell Clark. And he said that Wendell Clark's the strongest guy he ever fought.
And from the draw, the Red Wings have it. They backpedal to their own end. Doug Crossman feed it ahead, intercepted by Grant Jennings. Jennings giving the biscuit over to Ulf Samuelson. Now ahead to Jagr, looks for the hat trick. He goes to Trottier behind the defense. Trottier makes a little move. He shoots, and Cheveldae will make the save, and it went off his body and just wide of the net. It went right off his skates and just trickled wide of the goal. Now Mark Potvin leads it back for the Red Wings to Keith Primo, and Primo to the left wing to Garpenlov. Garpenlov trying to go down the slot. Polk checked off his stick. Penguins pick it up, and they've got another break coming with Yager and Murphy. Murphy carries a mail down left side. Yager wants the puck. He can't get it to him, though. Nice defensive play by Crossman. Yager's in front. He's got it down. It came off his leg. Over to the right side. Trottier. Feed it to the near corner, and Yager's after it. Crossman trying to slow him down. Turns him around. Knocks him down. Loney in behind the net. It's a strong line the Penguins have here tonight. But the Red Wings have possession, and they shoot it ahead back to center. Going to be awfully tough for Badger Bob Johnson to break this line up, I would think. Going down the final game, Yager is up in it and knocked down. Play continues. And Rick Green comes up with it. He has separated them on occasions here over the last few games, but they are just so strong right now. Playing for the Penguins. Here's Probert now. Back into the Penguins in right side over to McCrimmon with a slap shot. And Peter Angelo made the pad save. And here's Herdina rushing back down the left wing to the Detroit zone. He had the puck taken off his stick neatly by Bob Probert. Probert with a burst of speed. Going to the Penguins in. Probert comes down. He is checked by Taglianetti, ridden right behind the boards. The Penguins, Gordy Roberts, still unable to get possession. 6-3 the Penguins lead here in the third. Right side to Rick Zimbo, a shot down low, and Peter Angelo got a stick on that. Red Wings with 26 shots on goal. The Penguins with 21. Around the glove that's left on the ice. The puck bounces in at Probert, whacking one of the Penguins. It was Roberts and sends him flying. Bob Probert. Now it's Taglianetti. He went after Taglianetti again. Just gave him a whack with the right hand. And Bob Probert getting a little edgy here in this third period, as he has all game, as a matter of fact. It's Taglianetti who is down. He was whacked by Probert. You know, to me, that should be 5 minutes. That's so intentional, it's ridiculous. Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Welcome to the battle between the almighty dollar and the little common sense. There's the bell. What a fight. A left, right, left. Oh, the dollar is in trouble. It's down, the dollar.
You bet it's down. Because from now on, McDonald's original juicy hamburger is just 59 cents. Delicious cheeseburger, 69 cents. And tasty sausage biscuit.
Westmoreland Novel on the air with an announcement in the emergency broadcast system. The National Weather Service in Pittsburgh has issued a high wind warning for all of western Pennsylvania until 7 a.m. Thursday morning. Wind gusts can be expected as high as 65 miles per hour in the warning area. Repeating, Westmoreland Novel on the air with an announcement. National Weather Service in Pittsburgh has issued a high wind warning for all of western Pennsylvania until 7 a.m. Thursday morning. Wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour can be expected in the warning area.
I can see the frustration on Probert's part, but that doesn't warrant the fact. I mean, that's all that's telling kids is, hey, hit a guy as hard as you want for 2 minutes. I mean, give me a break. Now back around the Penguin net, and it's picked up and grabbed now by Kevin Stevens. Stevens down the right wing, and against a guy like that, too. I mean, Bob Probert, of all people, who can stand square with you one-on-one with anybody in the league, and he hits you from behind. I mean, and off Samuelson with the puck, losing it for a moment to Yzerman. He's trying to recover. He's bouncing free into the Penguins in. The Red Wings can't get a shot off. Kevin Miller. I don't have much respect for Bob Probert when he does things like that. I really did an awful lot, and I think players did around the league, but when he does something like that, that's ignorant. Down the right side, here comes Coffey breaking back into the Detroit zone. He'll step in deep, going behind the net, trying to center, and he can't do it. Loney trying to drive it. He can't do it. Rebound in front. Yager tried to trickle it in. He couldn't quite get a handle on it. And here come the Red Wings back to center.
Yager's come close to getting that hat trick a couple of times here in the last couple of minutes.
And he has one this year, does Jaromir Yager, in his rookie season. An outlet pass to Yager, and he's flying now, coming to the Detroit line. Yager glides into the Detroit zone, trying to go through everybody. He almost got there, and Brian Marsh, one of the three wings back, finally got a piece of him, and the puck and knocked it away. Somebody's lost a glove. It's Crossman, or it's Brad Marsh. Down the right side, it comes to Yzerman, a slap shot. Oh, that's deflected, and up into the seats it goes.
You just get the feeling that the Red Wings are just riddled with frustration right now. The way they're shooting the puck, just the way they're acting, what Probert did, things that are happening on the ice.
Well, the Penguins leading 6-3 with 12-12 left here in the third period.
Taglianetti really did have Probert tied up, was holding his stick. Probert trying to get away, just got frustrated and suckered him right in the face.
Well, you do that on the street. I mean, they put you. Never mind. Let's just get back to play again. In the right wing corner, it's Sean Burr. He'll leave the puck along the boards, and Mark Recchi comes away with it. Recchi coming to the Detroit line down the left side. He'll break in deep, pull it around a man. Guts right there, and can he shoot it? He can. He's knocked down. Nothing called there. Now Fedorov with it. And Sergei Fedorov stepping back on the play to center circle. Right to the Penguin line. Offside of the Red Wings, entering the Penguin zone. 11:48 left in the third period. The Penguins lead Detroit 6-3 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Power buying saves, save at Farmore.
Save on name brands all through the store.
Farmores, here, save Farmore.
Everyday low prices save you far more.
Save at Farmore.
Diving big, saving too. Half the savings are to you.
Power buying saves, save at Farmore.
Shop the Farmore, not far from you.
At the Penguin blue line, Sergei Fedorov on a unit with Sean Burr and Kevin Miller, and the Penguins countering with Francis trio. Francis with a big goal here in the third to give the Penguins a 5-3 lead, and Yager added one. Now 6-3, and here's Francis off the right wing to Scott Young. He loves to shoot from there, does, and it's stopped off the glove of Chevalier in the rebound. Behind him, and Brad Marsh comes up with it. A shot by Young handcuffed Chevalier, went off his glove, but he can fire it so hard. But Marsh made a good defensive play to come up and clean it up in the slot, or the goal mouth. Now turned aside to center ice, and it's Fedorov again. Stopping at the Penguin line. He lost the puck to Scotty Young. A 2-on-2 develops. Young of the Penguins to the Detroit line. That big slap shot again. He shoots and scores. That time there was no glove. And the Penguins lead 7-3. Unbelievable. Scotty Young from the blue line, and he just overpowered Chevalier. Penguins lead 7-3.
There aren't a lot of players in the NHL. I don't know if there are any really who can score from the blue line anymore. You know, on a straight-in shot like that with no screen, nothing, just crank it up and blow it by you.
Well, they talk about
it's like a fastball.
They talk about Brett Hull's shot. It is unbelievable, but that one right there by Scotty Young. Now we're going to have a goaltending change. 8:53, the time of the goal by Scott Young. Chevalier is going to be relieved here. Glenn Hanlon will come on as the Penguins lead 7-3 here in the third, and for Scotty Young, the Penguin right winger, it will be his 11th in a Penguin uniform, his 17th of the year. Man, and he shoot that puck. Jennings with another assist.
Ryan Murray's got to be upset. His team did not play well against the Toronto Maple Leafs over the weekend in a home-and-home series. And here they are coming out here in the third period. The Penguins got that first goal in the third, and they just been piling them on ever since. Jennings with another assist.
Yep, he's got 2 in the period. And Glenn Hanlon will be the goaltender now on the year, a record of 4-5-3, a 3.11 goals against average. And Coffey of the Penguins lost it to Keith Primo, and Primo steps into the Penguins end, down the slot, shoots it towards the net. That's blocked off the skate of Taglianetti. 10:50 left in regulation, and the Penguins leading 7-3. And they're within a half a period of winning the Patrick division. And Garpenlov steers it back into his own end. For Rick Green, the Penguins win here tonight. That'll be 9 straight without a loss to Detroit. Whack down the boards deep into the Penguins owner, Peter Angelo. Wind it around, but the Red Wings steal. Mark Potvin tried to center, couldn't do it. It comes free now, and a shot right to Peter Angelo. Garpenlov let it go, and it's knocked away. Back at center. Mark Potvin drills it back into Penguin real estate. Ork of the Penguins and Randy Gillen. He stepped aside up the left side. Here is Coffey now. A big collision, and the Red Wings get involved as Primo gets there at center ice. And now here we go. Probert's back in the middle of everything again. This time he's
it's Potvin and Gillen.
Randy Gillen and Mark Potvin, and Gillen come with some rights on Mark Potvin, who does that protective shield on. He's got all the advantage in the world, Mark Potvin.
There's no sense in even throwing a punch at him, Randy. You're just going to hurt your hand, really. I mean, it's pointless.
And he is doing that, Randy Gillen, against Mark Potvin. And the linesman ought to realize this situation, too, when a guy's fighting with a full helmet on. McGillen showing a little character coming back against Potvin.
The only thing I can say is it's a good thing Potvin was wearing that thing, because I think Gillen connected with it a few times. Of course, it's a little easier to wade in there, too. You know you're going to be protected.
We'll be back in a moment. 10:09 to go here in the third. Pittsburgh 7, Detroit 3 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Hi, it's me, Equibank's Money Tree. You know, when you need cash, you'll never be up a tree if you apply for a loan from Equibank. Just call 1-800-LOAN-LINE. It's as easy as 1, 2, tree. Equibank's Money Tree here. You know, I'm not going out on a limb when I say Equibank has the best Mac card, because we guarantee no fee till 1992. So come see the tree and get the Mac without the fee.
Now, Rob Schick has to come over and confer with his linesman as to what he wants to do here, apparently.
Coffey came after Potvin, got the stick up on him, and then Gillen took a shot at him. Over came Primo to try to break things up a little, and Gillen just kept throwing gloves at Potvin, and neither one of them had dropped their sticks or gloves at that point. Probert in there also. And then Potvin and Gillen went at it. Gillen throwing right hands.
Penalties will be at the 9:51 mark of period number 3. Well, we don't know what they're going to be. Mr. Schick hasn't made a determination here as to what he wants to call. So we'll just wait and see. They're going to give Coffey a 2-minute minor. Coffey's going to put the Penguins short-handed. He was the original guy that went after Potvin. And apparently will put the Penguins short-handed here.
Now, well, Coffey started it. He came over with that high stick on Potvin. Yager laughing on the bench.
Somebody's got him going.
Trottier with that dry look on his face, too. He's got a sense of humor. You can just read it in his eyes.
High sticking call against the doctor.
Detroit's number 46, Mark Compton, 2 minutes for roughing plus 5 minutes for fighting.
Roughing call to Potvin, 5 for fighting. Gillen 2 for high sticking, 5 for fighting, and Coffey a 2-minute minor, high sticking. The Red Wings have the power play, their 5th chance of the night. They have gone 1 for 4 in a 7-3 Penguin lead. Hartford leading New Jersey 3-2. The only other game of the National Hockey League tonight at New Jersey. Boy, the Penguins have been involved in a lot of long games here of late. Very physical games. Particularly a long one last night against Philadelphia. And we're back to action now off the far side. Bob Probert has it for the Red Wings. He'll get it over to Paul Yzerbark. Yzerbark drop it back to Fedorov. His shot hit a leg. Coming to the Penguins, and Yuri Hrdina rolls it ahead all the way back to Detroit territory. The Red Wings take command of it. Out to Fedorov. Penguins have scored 7 goals on 23 shots here tonight, but the fans here will think the Chevrolet had a totally brutal night, but it's the Penguin style, really. Here they are around the Penguin net of the Red Wings, and they can't make a play. Penguins have the highest scoring percentage of any team in the league. Probert, he'll wrist one. That hit that glass behind Peter Angelo. And off the far boards, Ronnie Francis deals it ahead.
Probert just wants to hit everything that moves right now. You can just see him.
He's like a bulldozer in a construction yard, and he can't find the net. Nothing's going right for him, and he's just simply losing it here. Now the Red Wings are offside. He's shooting the puck. He's missing by 10 feet. You know, he's behind the net. He's losing the puck. And he's just having one of those games that he'd rather forget about. Penguins 7, Detroit 3.
One thing you used to always hear when you came into Detroit was Jacques Demers, and inevitably there'd be at least 3 quotes in the paper about Demers saying that Yzerman should win this award and win that, and he's the greatest player in the world. And usually it was because he knew Lemieux was coming. And You don't hear the hype, I think, as much here in Detroit about Yzerman as we used to, because Jacques Demers was a guy who used to talk about him all the time.
I wonder if he does that now. He's broadcasting in Detroit for his broadcast partner.
Well, you know what he says now? That Joe Sakic reminds him of Steve Yzerman.
Jacques.
He's a good man, Jacques.
Yeah. And Grant Jennings, after the puck, played to the right point. Here's Yzerman down the boards, played away to the left side, and it will come to Garpenloff. He holds the biscuit on the power play with 35 seconds to go in the coffee miner. And here's Samuelson. He has just been as strong as ever. He did like a bull himself, working people over. And now they freeze it near corner of the Penguin zone. And Peter Angelo says, let's have the face-off outside the blue line, but that's not going to be the call. As we gear up for the playoffs, it'll be interesting too. You know, we have so many teams involved in the first round, but referees are rated during the course of the year, and they get their assignments for the playoffs and what they felt the league people do, the supervisors, what they've accomplished, and they'll get assignments accordingly. You'll see a lot of them in the first round, but after that, it'll weed it down. You'll see what they consider to be their best for the year, so they're rated continually. Glenn Hanlon, who was replaced after the Penguins' 7th goal, who did come in to replace Tim Cheveldae.
Hanlon's one of those guys that seems to last forever, doesn't he?
Yeah. The Devils and Whalers are tied to 3 now in the third period. Brendan Shanahan, the the Devils have played 3 straight ties, and they're headed for another one. Jimmy Carson, Penguins in. Frank Pietrangelo trying to win for the first time since December 20th when he won at Minnesota against the North Stars. And on the left point, Yzerman with that puck going the right side. And here's a shot towards the net, blocked by Yves Racine. That'll bounce free over to Kevin Miller. Miller now to the right point again to Racine, left side to Yzerman. Yzerman to Racine. His shot never got to the net, picked up and drilled towards a goal and blocked again. The Penguins blocking a lot of shots. And Jennings has the puck and he clears it away. Back into the Detroit zone, and the Red Wings come up on the play. They go into the Penguins end. The penalty is over to Coffey. He has come on. Around the Penguin net, clear to the far wing, and Kevin Stevens, who has scored for the Penguins here tonight, led it back to center ice. 7-3 Pittsburgh. And drilled to the left wing corner of the Penguin zone. Larry Murphy steps up as he skates back to his own blue line. Looking left wing for Stevens. A pass too hard. The Red Wings cut it off, and Rick Zombo throws it up the alley to Sean Burr. Burr cruising to the Penguin stripe. He'll get in. Chopped aside, and the Penguins take it away, and they go to left wing. By the way, that game was not at Minnesota. The game was in Pittsburgh that Pietrangelo won. Coming back is Suchek. And Suchek passing left wing to Brent Fedek. Trying to get the speed on Larry Murphy. Comes right to the net. That stopped. And it'll be Bob Airy colliding with Fedek behind the goal. And a charging call coming up here.
He came from a long way to take a piece of Suchek.
Got a charging call against Penguin forward Bob Airy. He'll be sent off here. And we'll return. The Penguins lead by 4 in the Penguins Hockey Network.
Welcome to Pittsburgh. What can I rustle up for you, partner?
If you think you're saving money eating fast food, think about this. At King's, for the same money, you could get lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it.
Yippee-yi-yo!
Next time, make it King's.
Suchek was coming around the corner, and Bob Airy came in there like a bus. Only he's not that big, but he probably felt like a bus to him. Suchek. Airy started way back in the slot and just started digging and timed it perfectly and ran him out charging.
The Red Wings on their 6th power play chance, trying to whack it into the Penguins goal. They can't do it. They play to the left point to Fedorov. Red Wings 1 for 5 tonight on the power play. And around to the near corner is Jimmy Carson. Back behind the net. The Red Wings trying to throw it in front. He can't do it. Cleared by Recchi to the blue line, but not out. Fedorov keeps it in. Right side, a shot by Yzervard. He fanned on it. Has to go back and pick it up. Up it behind the Penguin goal. And here is Gordie Roberts over to Mark Recchi, and he shoots it up the sideboards, and away it goes. By the way, Shanahan's goal for New Jersey, a power play goal in the second period. No, it's the third period that he got the goal. Got listed as number 2 here. In that game, Zardy Zalewski has scored a goal for the Hartford Whalers. Here the Penguins lead 7-3. Back there behind the Penguin net. Around to the near wing, it goes to Yzerman. Left point to Fedorov. Number 91, Yzerman, the Ellis away with 19. But the Penguins just simply take it away. And they shoot it up ice. That kills some time and takes the heat out of a hot kitchen. 52 seconds to go. Crossman on the right side to Probert, and the Penguins in. Probert leave it for Yzervard, but his shot again stopped by the Penguin defense. Yzervard center point over to Fedorov. Back to Yzervard. Into the corner for Bob Probert. Probert trying to center. And that's not going to happen. Jennings slaps it off the boards, and away it goes. Sergei Fedorov with a final rush maybe coming up here for the Red Wings. Laid up the alley. It goes to Sean Burr. Left wing to Probert. Probert doesn't want to seem to shoot that puck right now. He just can't find the net. It goes to Yzerman. Right point to Brad McCrimmon of Detroit. Left side to Racine. Racine push one. That'll miss the target. Probert in around that goal, trying to stuff it in. He can't do it. Larry Murphy put that one over the glass. And the faceoff called for by Rob Schick, the referee, in the Pittsburgh zone.
I wonder what it's like for Frank Pietrangelo. You know, they're talking to him. He got shaken up on that play when Shuchuk got hit by Bob Airey. And when you haven't played in a game in a long time, it really takes its toll on you over the course of 60 minutes when you're a goaltender. You get a little tired. You're just not used to that game competition. You can play in practice all you want, but it's not the same as games.
Well, he'll be tired tonight.
Oh, yeah, he will be.
Guarantee you. Well, Frankie won a championship with the Muskegon Lumberjacks a couple of years ago. Mr. Bulk did the bulk of the work there. He's familiar with the playoffs, but it is a different level, of course. He'll get himself ready. Got a game under his belt now, and here's Racine left side. Racine shoots it, deflected in by Sean Burr, and it's 7-4. Sean Burr was in the crease, Pietrangelo will argue, but he's not going to win the battle. Sean Burr was right in front. We'll wait and see where exactly he was when he deflected it in. But Burr, I believe, is the man that gets it.
Racine grabbed it on the backhand, turned it over, kind of closed in, and just threw it to the net. And Burr was not in the crease. He was just on top of it when he deflected it in, but there was nobody around him.
Well, the goal by Sean Burr, and it comes at 14:52.
Well, Samuelson came out and was looking at the man with the puck, the point man, and probably shouldn't have been there because you had a winger. You had Scott Young out there to do that. And Samuelson came out and kind of left that guy alone in front, Sean Burr, and he was able to steer it into the net.
So Burr gets his 20th of the year. He'll let the bonus plateau. We go down the final 2 games of the season. Keep an eye on number 12, Bob Airey, and number 29, Phil Borg. Both those guys are trying to reach the 20-goal mark again. And you can bet your life in the last 2 games they'll be playing and hopefully trying to hit that margin. Here's Scott Young of the Detroit in. A backhand shot to the net, and Hanlon will sweep it away. 7-4 now the Penguins lead. Here in the third period, Keith Primo, the Detroit center iceman, who's played left wing also for the Red Wings this year. And I think on the right side also, he's played all 3 forward position. Outlet pass coming to Scott Young, and Young now cut his mic. Back around the Detroit goal, and it trickles just off Glenn Hanlon. Knocked aside in behind that net, and Zombo move it around. Murphy shoots the puck, and that'll miss. Back to the left point. Coffey fired one. That couldn't find the target. And Brent Feddick, the Detroit winger. Now we're going to have penalties coming up here as Ronnie Francis collides with Keith Primo. And we'll get penalties issued by referee Rob Schick. 7-4. The Penguins lead 4 minutes and 14 seconds away from the Pens gaining a victory here in Detroit. We'll be back on the Penguins Hockey Network.
February, we got a call from a distressed housewife.
My TV, it's gone red.
Relax, man. Another chance to crack the code for real refreshment.
Now, you at home, just hold the colored pattern of your Diet Coke game piece against the red TV screen and take another crack at over 1 million prizes.
And also play in the red part of any illuminated Coca-Cola vending machine.
How can I ever thank you?
Crack the code for real refreshment with 100% NutraSweet.
Well, Keith Primo is going to get the only penalty here, apparently. A Red Wings center iceman, and it comes at 15:46 for tripping Ron Francis. And it will be the Penguins' sixth opportunity. Penguins almost scored again. And here they go on the power play. Yager out here looking for the hat trick now as he comes down. And he's pulled off his skates by Rick Green, and the Red Wings take command of it. They slide it up the other way, back to the Penguin goal area. 4 minutes left in regulation. Larry Murphy back to play the puck from his own end, and he'll pass over to the left side. Recchi going right wing to Coffey. The pass was a little behind him and hit a stick, and the Pens are going to be offside going to the Detroit end of the rink. And again, the only other game in the National Hockey League tonight. The Hartford Whalers and the New Jersey Devils are tied at 3 in period number 3. Here the Penguins lead 7-4 over Detroit. Trying to close it out and win the Patrick Division. The New York Rangers, I'm sure, watching very intently at this game. Whatever chance they had to get back and grab first place into balance right here. If the Penguins win, there is no chance for the Rangers to do that. And the Rangers will come here and play on Saturday anyway, so they'll be viewing the game and picking up a scouting report, and then they'll have the Penguins at home against the on Sunday at the Garden. And Larry Murphy finding Jaromir Jagr on the power play to the Red Wings zone. Poked away from him and back to center circle. Larry Murphy will give it to Ron Francis of the Penguins. Dump it inside the Detroit line, but Fedorov is right there. And around it goes over to Rick Zombo. Zombo finding an open man. Kevin Miller with a slap shot right off Peter Angelo's mask, I believe. Stunned him. He didn't know where it went. It went over to the far corner and back in behind the Penguin goal now to Paul Coffey. Coffey gave it away. And the Red Wings shoot it at their own territory. Brad McCrimmon on defense. Rip it back to the Penguins into the rink. Samuelson lost it to Sean Burr. Coffey will take it away from him, and we have 34 seconds to go on the penalty to Keith Primo, the Red Wing forward who went off. Stevens trying to hop his way into the Detroit end. Marsh is after him. Ties him up. Perdino went behind the net, but he couldn't get there, and Brad McCrimmon will. And he'll snap it off the sideboards and back to center. 2:33 to go in the third period. 7-4 the Penguins with the lead. They're on a power play right now for the next 15 seconds. Brad Marsh moves away from a check, and he comes up shorthanded. Finding breaking Brent Feddick of the Red Wings. Shoots it in behind the Pittsburgh cage. Peter Angelo giving the puck to Gordy Roberts. And Roberts went way up ice down the right side. Nobody's home, and it goes to the Detroit zone. The penalty has expired now as they leave it. From Detroit real estate. Back to center ice, and Yzerman will come up with it. Left wing pass to Yzerman. Yzerman drop it over. Nobody there. Now Yzerman comes in to take it. He dances with that puck, knocked off his skates. No penalty called there as he was pulled down from behind the Pittsburgh goal. Gordy Roberts. There wasn't much question. Yzerman was hauled down with 1:43 to go, and here come the Red Wings, or the Penguins, back on the attack to the Red Wings zone. You don't need. Moved around to the far boards, and the Red Wings come up with it. Shoot Chuck. Over to Zombo. The Penguins a minute and a half here left in the third period. Out to Yzerman. Guns his way back to the Penguins end. He walks to the net, shoots it on Peter Angelo, and Frankie will stuff him with making the save as he got his right pad out and just turned it away and stuffed it away from the net. Taglianetti hauls it in. And he shoots it softly to the Red Wings blue line. Back it comes to Rick Green. Green now to Yzerman into the Penguin zone. Lost the puck, and here's a chance for Recchi and a breakaway. The wrecking ball comes in against Hanlon. One-on-one, makes a little move, and he shoots and stopped by Hanlon, who made the save on him. Now Recchi's got it again. Recchi over by Stevens, left side. Grant Jennings shoots one off the glove of Hanlon. Behind the net, Recchi has the puck. Recchi flip it out in front. Trontier was too well covered. Loose puck. Garpenloff challenged by Recchi, and Recchi stopped on that breakaway with 40 seconds to go, and it comes to Yzerman. Yzerman to Bob Probert. Probert lost control of it, and the Penguins again force him back into the Detroit end. It's off a stick and up into the seats. Now the wrecking ball with an opportunity there, trying to get his 41st. But a good stop by Glenn Hanlon on him. And we'll take a break. 7-4 the Penguins lead on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Some people think luxury cars need to be purchased from smaller dealers. At Number 1 Cochran, we strongly disagree. I'm Rob Cochran. Our luxury division has Western Pennsylvania's largest selection of the world's finest automobiles. Mercedes-Benz, Cadillac, Infiniti, Lincoln. Plus, you'll enjoy the luxury of personalized customer attention, unmatched anywhere. When you're considering a luxury automobile, compare. You won't be disappointed. The luxury division of Number 1 Cochran, truly a cut above.
Recchi again coming in one-on-one against Glenn Hanlon, and went to the forehand, and he stopped him with the right leg. 30 seconds left in the game, and by the way, a reminder to you, we'll be going to a post-game show here as the Penguins finish this game here tonight from the locker room. If the Penguins win it, and they're only 20 seconds away from doing that. And here is Kevin Stevens. Stevens to center ice, going to the Detroit end. Going to be a happy Penguin crew, and the Pens are offside. Penguins will win their first Patrick Division title ever. They started in 1967 in the National Hockey League, and this will be the first place finish for this hockey club in the history of the franchise, and you can feel it on the bench right now. It's a big moment. Now the name of the game will be ready to get ready for the playoffs. Ronnie Francis against Jimmy Carson, and pulled back down to the Penguin line. 10 seconds to go. Murphy shoots it in. That's wide of the net. The Red Wings after it. Zombo will touch the puck in an icing call with 4 seconds remaining. And all they'll do is drop the puck in the Penguin zone, and the Pittsburgh Penguins will be the champions of the Patrick Division for 1990-91. Mario Lemieux on the Penguin bench right now. They're celebrating. Tommy Barrasso has started so many straight for the Penguins, giving way to Peter Angelo tonight. And it'll mean some money to the players, too. Drop of the puck. We're down to 3. Shot by Marsh. Save made. Rebound. 1 second. It's all over. Tonight, the Pittsburgh Penguins have won the Patrick Division as they defeat the Detroit Red Wings by the score of 7-4. And you can buy Sam a drink and get his dog in the Kennel 1-2 tonight back in Pittsburgh in the tri-state area. A big night in the history of this Penguin franchise as they win their first ever Patrick Division title. Unbelievable. On the year, the Penguins coming back to overtake the New York Rangers and win first place in the division. It's funny now that the Penguins have won the division. How many people you talk to that tell you that, yeah, we had them all. We figured they would win the division. Yeah, we think you're going to go a long way in the playoffs. It's amazing. But a lot of people prior to the start of this year did not pick the Penguins to finish first. And you'll go back and look at publications and other things that were done as far as selections, and certainly the Penguins were not among the top selection of people that handle those saves. But now it is official. The Penguins, the last remaining team in the Patrick Division to win the division title, and they have finally done it. In the years since it's been in existence.
Turn number 3 for the Pittsburgh Penguins, number 68.
Penguin dressing room now with Frank Pietrangelo being congratulated. I was trying to get the 3 stars as we were doing that, and that was impossible trying to do, but a very happy Penguin locker room as Frank Pietrangelo has not won since December, and the Penguins a jubilant crew as they defeat Detroit here tonight. Kevin Stevens, a very quiet confidence about that big guy going down the stretch run in March, and the Penguins do it. We'll be back to go to the locker room in just a moment. 7-4 the final. The Penguins beat the Wings on the Penguins Hockey Network.
In the beginning, there was the earth, the sky, and the sea. And then, a little later, there was Foodland. Yes, the big events are at Foodland. Not as big as creation, but you won't want to miss them.
At the Double Coupon Store, there's Cook's semi-boneless ham, 98 cents a pound. Maxwell House Coffee, $4.59. Hillshire Farms kielbasa, $1.89 a pound. I can't believe it's not butter, 99 cents, and all detergent, $9.99. This week at Foodland.
Welcome to the battle between the almighty dollar and the little common sense. There's the bell. What a fight. A left, right, left. Oh, the dollar is in trouble. It's down, the dollar.
You bet it's down. Because from now on, McDonald's original juicy hamburger is just 59 cents. Delicious cheeseburger, 69 cents, and tasty sausage biscuit, 79 cents. So come to McDonald's, where the little common sense win big. Our new real value menu. You'll love the change at McDonald's.
Outrageous.
Get conservative. Have you got your pearls on?
Yeah, gotta look good.
Bad. Fresh. Younger. Older.
She showed me a gazillion different frames.
Have you got your pearls on? Those are definitely pearls. Definitely pearls.
Bought one pair with a coupon and they gave me a second pair.
Promised they'd be perfect. Guaranteed it. Why just wear glasses when you can put on pearls?
I mean, I gotta look good.
Pearl and Pearl Vision Express for glasses in 1 hour. Call 1-800-YES-EYES for locations.
The Lexus ES250 lease. For 24 months or 30,000 miles, you don't pay for any scheduled maintenance. Admit it, isn't this what you've always wanted? A short-term, no-maintenance relationship. The Lexus ES250 lease. This offer is for a limited time, so see Roar Lexus today.
Quickly back to the game for a moment. 9 shots apiece in the final period. Detroit with 32 on the night. Pittsburgh with 26. And our congratulations tonight to Mr. DeBartolo. It's been a long wait and a long time coming. But finally, the Penguins, under his ownership, have won a Patrick Division championship for the first time in the history of the franchise. The #1 star in this game, by the way, before we go back to the locker room, was Jaromir Jagr of the Penguins, who just dazzled people tonight. He had a pair of goals. Some big, strong games. The Penguins were down 1-0 in the contest, came back and took a 3-1 first period lead. Watched the Red Wings come back and tie up, but scored a late goal in the second period and end up winning it by the score of 7-5. By the way, Jaromir Jagr had the game-winning goal tonight for the Penguins in the third period. It is official. The Penguins are the 90-91 Patrick Division champions. And let us go through, if we can now, the game summary. Apparently, we're not ready to go downstairs as of yet. All right, Jagr had a pair of goals, and now Staggy is ready down below, and let's join him. Well, we apparently are having some technical problems in trying to get Paul Steigerwald's mic working here as we went to the Penguin locker room. We had it prior to the break, but whatever's transpired, and this is the world of live television, folks, and it does happen to you. Anyway, as they try and repair that and work on it, we will give you the summary of what happened here tonight, and we did need the summary, so let's put it up now. Jaromir Jagr with 2 goals tonight to pace the way for the Penguins. Kevin Stevens and Mark Recchi each had 3 points tonight. Frank Pietrangelo with his first victory for the Pens in goal, and a big one for him. The clinching game in the Patrick Division, the first since December 20th. And Grant Jennings and Troy Loney both in that third period came up with a couple of assists to help pace the way for the Penguins. But as has been the case for the Penguins over the last month, more of a team effort, I think, among everybody, and I think that's been the trademark of this club here down the stretch run. What earned them the ability to win the Patrick Division, the strength and balance that they had. The trade, of course, inspired that also, but the Penguins really with a very balanced attack got focused and were ready to make a run at the New York Rangers, who faltered at the right time for Pittsburgh, and then they went on and led the way, jumped by them. The 2 big games against the Rangers earlier, and winning both of those games, particularly the one in overtime that they won on the goal by Kevin Stevens, and it just appeared that destiny was on the Penguin side for just a change, and they went on to win the Patrick Division championship. Now the big question is, who will they play in the first round of the playoffs? And there's a whole lot of deciding to go on in that situation as we look at it. The Penguins atop the division now with 87 points. The Rangers appear to be set to finish second, but the dog race is on right now between Washington, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. We don't have a final score in the New Jersey game as of yet. They were playing the Hartford Whalers, but at the moment, going into action tonight, Washington and New Jersey had 77 points apiece. Philadelphia with 75 on the year, and of course the Islanders out of the picture. So whatever does transpire in the rest of this week and of the weekend will determine what we will be doing. All right, let's try it again. Let's go down to that Penguin locker room and Paul Steigerwald.
Go ahead, Bob. Put it on.
Everybody.
Here it is. He's going to model it for us.
Yeah! Fucking
Bob, let's start over. Congratulations, first of all. And I know you went from not making the playoffs to winning the title. That's an amazing accomplishment, I think.
Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't easy. It's been a long year. There were times in the season when we had to play the first 50 games without Lemieux, but the guys really did a good job. They stayed in there. We wanted to be competitive. We wanted to stay in the hunt, and they were. And then we evaluated our team. We came back from that last long road trip, We needed some more help. There were some pieces missing, And then we made the trade, and the trade has given us, we're bigger and we're stronger, and I think we're more physical, and our philosophy's changed somewhat. We can still score goals, but I think we're better defensively, and I think Tom Barrasso got on a good streak there, and tonight it was really amazing that we called him Frankie, and he came up big for us. And with Mario out of the lineup and Barrasso, the guys just, we wanted a lot of overachievers tonight, and the guys really did a great job overachieving. And it's a tremendous tribute to these guys, and I'm so happy for Troy Looney and Bob Erie and Mario, three guys that have been with the Penguins a long time, and I just hope those three guys will be there when they hang the banner up, Patrick Division champions, because the Patrick Division is very, very difficult. There are 6 teams in it, and 2 don't make the playoffs, and that's the only division where 2 teams don't make it, and it's tough, rough hockey, and you got to give all these guys a lot of credit. I'll tell you that right now. They deserve it.
Congratulations again, Bob. Let's get Bob Erie over here. Can we get Bob Erie here? Bob, you with the... Come on over here. Okay, where's Kevin Stevens? Let's get him while Bob's putting his shirt on. Now we're going to get Bobby. We'll get Bobby now. Come on, Bob. Bubbly! We've got the bubbly Gatorade here. Bobby, congratulations. Bob Johnson mentioned your name, and I want to mention another guy, too, who's back in Pittsburgh. Randy Hillier has been with this team a long time, too. Bobby, I know it's a great thrill for you, I know.
Oh, it's been a long time coming, and the guys just dug down deep, and all the additions on this squad, and everybody pulled together. It's fantastic.
I know your work's not done, Bobby, and Badger pretty much looked back over the season and what had happened, but now looking ahead, what's in store now?
Oh, we've accomplished kind of just something small right now. We want to make the playoffs, and we got the home ice. That's some small part of what we want to accomplish this year, and we all know what that is.
What's been the key, do you think, Bob, to being able to maintain and stay the course, so to speak, and keep things going positive when you went through some rough spots during the year?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's just been, everybody's been so positive. We know we have the team here, and we've made some changes, small changes. It's been for the betterment of the team, and the guys have just pulled together all through thick and thin.
When Craig Patrick named Bob Johnson and Scotty Bowman as members of the organization, he said they had the best management team in the NHL. And did the players, did they sense at the time that something good had happened for this organization?
Oh yeah, that was definitely the fact. We have a great organization, and everything's got to start from the top and run all the way through, and that's where we started. And we've strengthened our organization all the way through, and we don't have any weak links now. Congratulations, Bobby. Thanks very much.
Okay, Kevin Stevens. Is Kevin here? Come on, Artie. Is that for Bowser Pontiac?
A little bit of ball, a little bit of Randy again.
Well, Artie, great year for you and a great finish. Certainly a big part of the Penguins' drive to winning the championship with the goals you scored lately.
It was a great, coming down the stretch has been great. Everybody's been positive. The guys have been great, and it's been a lot of fun. Last year we tried to back our way in, but this year we went out and earned it, and it feels great to have first place right now, and we're sitting great, and we're all excited. It's a great feeling.
I can't help but ask you this question. I know you're really good friends with Johnny Cullen, and in his way, he deserves a piece of this too, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, John. He was a big part of our team early in the year. He carried us for a long time there, and he's a great player, and he'll do fine, and he's probably happy for all of us right now. He's that type of kid, and we all wish the best for him.
Playoffs coming around the corner. You got the home ice advantage.
Yeah, it's great. We wanted home ice advantage all the way through, and now we got it right now, and hopefully we can just continue to play well, and maybe we can just keep getting wins. That's the name of the game.
Hey, Artie, thanks a lot. Congratulations again.
Thanks.
Let's go back upstairs to Mike.
All right, Paul, and the Penguins do win it over the Red Wings by the score of 7-4. And I want to mention also that tonight it was the Patrick for Patrick, and Craig Patrick should get a lot of acknowledgement here for the job that he has done in a short period of time, actually, for the Penguins since taking over. Has built a very strong club, and a club now, as I said, places Penguins go, that many people think will be one of the stronger teams in the playoff competition at the conclusion of this year. We will take a timeout right now and come back here to the Joe Louis Arena, where tonight the Penguins won the Patrick Division. We'll be back in 2 minutes right here on the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network.
To us, the theory of relativity means always being relatively close to a party. In these parts, our wildest creatures come out only at night.
Preserve the wildlife.
This year, experience the most celebrated championship lineup in the history of figure skating. Jill Trenery, Brian Orser, Peggy Fleming, Christopher Bowman, Elizabeth Manley, Robin Cousins, Midori Ito, Victor Petrenko, Denise Beelman, Todd Eldridge, Christy Yamaguchi, and many other medal winners in the Campbell Soup's 1991 tour of World Figure Skating Champions. See the greatest skaters of all time. Presented by Tom Collins.
One performance, Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12th at the Civic Arena. Tickets on sale now.
Get your copy of the Penguins Yearbook with full-color action photos of all your favorite players. On sale now at the Penguins Pro Shop at the Civic Arena. Mail orders accepted.
And you would have to be here to believe it.
With the cool going down, with the chill rushing through you. What's that that takes your breath away? That's the taste of real refreshment. That's the real of Diet Coke. Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke.
All right, back at the Joe Louis Arena. Let's go back down the ladder and join Paul Steigerwald once again.
Okay, Mike, we're here with Mario Lemieux, and Mario, I think a lot of people would love to see you play in this game and feel what it really felt like to be on the ice and clinch it, but at the same time, I guess it's kind of symbolic for the way things have gone this year. This team has done a lot without you and also with
The way they played this year.
You must be very proud too, Mario, that just to be part of this now after all the years you put in, and that you did a lot of great things for this team, and finally get this, something you've always really wanted.
Well, that was our goal, to be one of the best team in the league, and I think we achieved that last couple this year at least. And you know, it's just a start for us. We want to do very well this year. We want to win the Stanley Cup and go from there. So I think the future looks pretty good for the Penguins now.
I think if people are concerned about your eye, Mario, and when you're going to be able to play again.
Oh yeah, that's no problem. It's just a bad bruise, and I'll be ready Saturday. I'll be ready to play Saturday.
A lot of competitive teams in this division, still a long way to go to really get what you really want. What do you look forward to in the playoffs in terms of the competition in the Patrick division?
Well, it's going to be certainly a battle. It doesn't matter who we play in the playoffs. You still got to go out there and do the job. And you know, it doesn't matter if we play against Jersey or Washington. I think it's going to be a battle. So we have to be ready right from the start next Wednesday.
Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, Mario Lemieux, and let's go back upstairs to Mike Lang as we look at the T-shirt. Patrick Division champions.
And that they are, the 1990-91 Patrick Division champions, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Win here tonight over the Detroit Red Wings, sweep the season series against Detroit, and the Penguins now with a record of 41 wins. That's a new team record. The most victories in a year, 32 losses, and 5 ties for their 87 points with 2 games left. And a reminder to you, we'll be broadcasting the game on Saturday afternoon when the Penguins host the Philadelphia Flyers. What very well could be a gigantic game for the Flyers coming up. Our broadcast time on our Penguin Radio Network begins at 1:20. On the KBL Sports Network, we will be on beginning at 1:30. They had the crowd of 19,760, but here tonight they watched the Pittsburgh Penguins defeat the Detroit Red Wings. The final score, the Penguins 7 and Detroit 4, and the Patrick Division. Pittsburgh Penguins winners here at Detroit. Now get ready for the playoffs coming up and the postseason. For Paul Steigerwald, this is Mike Lang saying so long, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network.